How is everyone doing tonight? I am back from my vacation. I had my final weekly live stream 2 weeks ago, but I am back for every fortnight, every other week, bi-weekly, semi-weekly, fortnightly, whatever you want to call it. I will be here. I still need to talk to Nick tomorrow, but there's a chance that we shift the week that Pokeflips is in, or maybe we move it to Thursdays. But my calendar, my personal calendar, and Pokeflips are at odds 4 of the next 5 Fridays. So something needs to happen. I need to figure something out, because 4 of the next 5, it's not like I have to miss them entirely. Some of them I do, but part of the, I either need to move them till 3 o'clock. Why don't we just shift a week? We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for an update on Pokeflips. Maybe I'll be live next week. Maybe Pokeflips will kick the following week, but we will see. What did I title this? Let me see what I titled this so that I can see what I have to talk about tonight. When will this boom end? And oh yeah, I did the red line on the Scarlet Violet, green line on the Sword Shield. Sword Shield, so hot right now. Fusion Strike, so hot right now. Dan, are you panic buying Sword Shield? Are you panic buying? No, actually, if you remember, my 3 weeks ago, I think, not my last stream, but the one before that, I actually sold. I talked about selling some Silver Tempest cases at like 90%. Silver Tempest, I looked at it today. I'm like, oh, Fusion Strike is moving so much. I probably sold it right before it bumped. It hasn't yet. It hasn't done what Fusion is doing. Will it ever? I have no idea. We got Gemmint Pokemon saying Dan's giveaway. I do not have any giveaway planned for tonight. I will just be giving away my time, giving away my best shot at answering your questions. So as always, I appreciate everyone being here. Appreciate you giving me your time while we're trading time here. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. They've been coming lately, so if you can, throw a stop sign emoji, throw something along those lines, and I will find it easier. But if we have less than 100 viewers, it's usually not that hard anyways. I don't know if we're gonna have 100, or maybe my stream is doing what Fusion Strike is doing. Maybe we'll have 200-300 live viewers in an hour or so. We'll have to see. I don't know. Dan's giveaway. I will give away love and affection for sure. I will give away my love and affection, my best wishes. I'm rooting for everybody. I'm rooting for everyone in the hobby. A lot of negativity can be around at time to time, and we're kind of in one of those seasons where a lot of people are at each other's throats. Why is my blue light up there seem so dim? I don't know why I just noticed that, but it feels like it's dimmer than normal. Something feels different with my lighting, but I can't tell what. But yeah, welcome back. Thank you for having me back. It's been so long. Gonna have to get used to this every other week thing. If you missed me last week, tune into Pokeflips. I'm there. I was also on It Was Never a Phase with TJ. Got to meet him digitally for the first time. I've been watching his content for a few weeks now. Always fun to branch out and go chat with other individuals. Kind of like a decent little bubble, a little bubble of people, not like a market bubble. I'm not saying the bubble's gonna pop, but I definitely live, and I think a lot of us live in a relatively small content bubble, and I think that's fine. I think it's fine from time to time to hey, I got my people, and we enjoy each other's content, we enjoy each other's companies, we go out, hang out at conventions and stuff, but it's nice to branch out outside of the bubble too. So when someone new reaches out to me, I'm always up for talking Pokemon. I'm always up for branching out. And yeah, that's coming this coming Monday. I know I'm really bad at like saying coming soon, upcoming video. This video is firmly coming this Monday. This pallet update video. The pallet turned 1 yesterday. So happy birthday to the pallet. I should have came with a birthday cake. I should have came with some props ready to go. But the pallet is 1 now. The pallet is doing quite well. It's a big boy. It is a big boy. It is doing very well, very healthy pallet. So we'll talk about that Monday. I already updated everything, all the spreadsheets. Sadly, there was no Fusion Strike on the first pallet. So sadly, it's missing those gains. But there is some Sword Shield. There's a lot of Scarlet Violet. And It's doing well. So I don't want to spoil too much, but it numbers went up. On my thumbnail, there's red numbers going down, green numbers going, or I gotta go this way. Green numbers going up. A lot of green numbers you will see on the pallet. Do I have any sword shield cases for sale now? I do not, Zach. I sold all I had wanted to sell at the time a couple weeks ago. Aside from my pallets, I was actually doing inventory recently. I have a lot of loose packs of sword shield era sets. I have tens of thousands. I'm looking right now at my sheet on, so there's our sales. Where's my inventory? I'm actually curious myself. I don't know what the number is until I add all these up. So I have over 20,000 loose packs of sword shield era sets, which I'm happy with. Almost half of it, about half of it is Crown Zenith. But this, so it's 23,000 packs. And that's not counting what's here. So it's probably closer to 30,000 packs. I probably have about 30,000 packs of sword shield, which is for sale every day, every night on Fanatics Live. A third of that, a full third of that, maybe slightly over, is Crown Zenith alone. And as far as cases go, though, I did have, like, for whatever reason, I had eight or 10 Silver Tempest, and I'm like, 8 or 10 Silver Tempest. I like Silver Tempest. I like all the Sword and Shield to some extent, but I had 8 Silver Tempest after selling a couple through Probestein, and I'm like, I have 8 of this, and I only have 1 Darkness and 1 Vivid. I have 3 Battle Styles. I have 2 Chilling Rain. I've only 1 Evolving Skies, 2 Fusion Strike. I don't have a whole lot. So, like, I'm pretty happy where I'm at now. I have 22 aside from the pallet. On the pallet, I have an additional 18. So I guess I have 31. I mean, 31 is kind of an oddball number. Maybe I need to find 1 more case to sell. I do have 1 streamer. If Mr. Ponga is in here, he will be mad at me if I don't give him first dibs. I'll probably have to give him first dibs if I do. But I have 31 Sword Shield cases, which is like 6,000 packs worth. And then I have 30,000 loose packs worth. So I like the cases for many reasons. I like the loose packs for many reasons, though, too. Generally speaking, if I go to sell a case, it'll be like I sell it through Probestein, or I sell it privately, or whatever. And I get 90, 95, near 100% of market. And if I had Fusion Strike right now that I wanted to sell, I would require getting 100% of today's market. Because, well, this is not my words. Rudy said this some time ago. Today's price, tomorrow's discount. Dangerous words. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it seems like there's a decent shot that today's price on Fusion Strike will be tomorrow's discount, next week's discount, next month's discount. Will that all hold? Will that all stay? I don't know, but it's Rudy talked about them being $1,000 boxes, and on a long enough timeline, I think they'll all get there. Will that timeline require weeks, months, or years, or decades? No idea. I'm along for the ride. So yeah, there's a little bit of a conversation around my sword shield type stuff. I covered that aspect. Generally speaking, I'm quite confident that there's probably no reprints coming of booster boxes, especially. Will there be a tin? Will there be a box of some kind with 1 random Sword Shield era pack? Wouldn't be the most surprising thing, but once you get up to like Scarlet Violet 10, Scarlet Violet 10 will be Destined Rivals, will be Scarlet Violet 10. Once you get there, getting Sword Shield era packs trickling out would be fairly surprising. But if you go back to like, I was around during the XY era, in Sun and Moon, you were seeing XY Evolutions packs sneak in, not only in Sun and Moon, but I think early Sword Shield era. Those things were everywhere. People were sick of them for a long time. And now they're $25, $30, $35 packs, whatever they are. Crazy how far we've come. Crazy what a market we live in. But yeah, let me keep the questions coming. Question marks, big capital question, stop sign, whatever you got to help the visibility. But it seems like it's going to be another little bit of a calmer sub 100 view count live concurrent viewer stream. So I should be able to catch everything. The Mexican hipster must be I know he's a West Coaster. It's 6 p.m. guys. We were ready to go live. I was live on time during the Panthers game. How dare you? I've actually been a terrible hockey fan. I've not been watching at all. I see the Knicks are up against the Celtics too. Go Knicks. Panthers are down 3-2. Ugh, Panthers and Maple Leafs. Can both teams lose? I want both teams to lose. I honestly, I don't have major opinions of the NBA or I don't have major opinions of the NBA or NHL playoffs because my Rangers aren't in the NHL. NBA. My sister likes the Warriors. She's a big Steph Curry fan. I root for them. Not crazy though. Back in the day, I used to be a Kobe guy. I used to be a Lakers guy. I used to be way back in the day. I used to be Knicks. I used to be Marcus Camby, Latrell Sprewell, Patrick Ewing. I used to be all those guys. Allen Houston. But having been a Knicks fan, having been a Lakers fan, definitely rooting for the Knicks over the Celtics. But I don't care that much. Hockey. I've been watching some highlights. There's been some amazing games. There's been a lot of rough games, a lot of penalties, a lot of brawls happening. Playoff hockey is awesome, and I've not been watching any of it. I'm gonna have to tune in for the conference finals for sure. That fish you reel in the intro should be a nondescript orange yellow carp. There are some variants. I've not used them yet. I've not pulled them out yet. But shout out to Hive Mind Collectibles. He did my fishing guy. He did my fishing intro guy. He did my red light intro, which I haven't used in a while. But he did a couple variants. He did a couple variants where I reel in different things. So at some point I'll show those off, but I haven't used them yet. Obi-Bong Kenobi says, "Hey there, Dan. I hope you and the family are well. Truly, I mean that. I've mentioned this before, but with my grandmother's passing, it'll probably be sooner rather than later. I'll be sending you pics." Sorry to hear that. But yeah, I appreciate you reaching out. Hope you are doing well also. Always hard to lose a loved one. President Whale Cabal, good evening. Again, I always got to say, I like that username. Summer slowdown is certainly happening at the moment. I've been seeing it on a micro level with my business. I was kind of being cheeky when I put summer slowdown in my, I don't think I put it in the title, but I put it in the thumbnail image. I understand the logic behind it, and I think there is actual data to back it to some extent. But generally speaking, to the individual, what's that? Like, statistics mean nothing to the individual. And I think the summer slowdown, I think a lot of people just like overthink it. I think a lot of people tend to overthink it. And I truly think the Pokemon market is so big and broad and diverse, especially depending on what stage of the hobby, what stage of your journey through the hobby you are in. I think it's possible to scale through the summer slowdown. I don't think you have to slow down with the summer slowdown. Like, just because the market may sometimes, but not always. Like, was there a summer slowdown last June or 2 Junes ago with the Japanese waifu stuff? Is there a summer slowdown right now with Destined Rivals coming out of the gate? $250, $70, $300, whatever it is. I kind of understand the sentiment, but like, if I wanted to, and I might fire up a third streamer. And it's like, hey, summer slowdown be damned. I'm going to go to eBay Live. I'm going to go to Whatnot. I'm going to fire up 3 more streamers, and I'm going to double my business over the summer slowdown. Like, that could happen. People will do that. There will be people that will double their businesses during the next 3 months during the summer slowdown. So whether it's a thing or not, it doesn't have to be that directly one-to-one to your business too, if that makes sense. Pokemage 87. Dan, can you please unit shame everyone who is only investing in a single booster box? Please. Thanks in advance. I will not, because I am a minnow compared to the likes of Rudy. I'm investing only a pallet, and I can't even do a pallet myself. I got to call my dad up, like, hey dad, I need some money. Let's invest by the pallet together. We're only assembling 1 pallet a year. Like, it's all a different, everyone's same arena, different rules, different games we're playing. And I will not unit shame someone who is investing by the pack or the box, or depending on the individual, depending on their finances, all that stuff. They may not be being financially sound. They may not be taking after their buckets and things like that. It's a dangerous thing to say, but the only thing I will do is, like, if you have to save up for a month to buy 1 individual booster box, and that is your investment, and you are shunning your employer match, and you are shunning your buckets otherwise. You are shunning your 401ks and IRAs and all this other stuff. Opportunity cost considerations. Then I wouldn't unit shame you for saying one box. I would just say, like, if you have to save for a month, is a $300 box of Destined Rivals really the best place, risk adjusted, opportunity cost considered? Is that really the best place to put your money? Because that's a scary thought. It's a scary thought. There's somebody out there, I promise you, there's at least one individual out there who is saving for like weeks and months to buy a box of Destined Rivals. And they're gonna buy it at 300 and they're waiting for it to go to 1,000. Someday will Destined Rivals be $1,000? Probably. Historically speaking, blah blah blah, biggest media franchise, everything's gone up, all those things. There's risk that it won't be, but there's a solid shot it could be someday, right? But that's as close as I'll get to unit shaming someone for buying an individual booster box. If you are investing in single booster boxes, or if you're investing in cases, or if you're investing in pallets, keep in mind your opportunity cost, keep in mind all the risks, keep in mind all that stuff at any scale that you're at. Live stream pack ripping or grading, which has more of an impact on singles and sealed prices? I think live stream pack ripping is like the single biggest game changer in the past few years. I think it's fundamentally changing a lot of things in the hobby, and it's the thing I keep talking about, the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. These print runs are massive, unprecedented high levels, but also the rip rates and the PSA 10 populations of popular chase cards from sets that are months old, years old, being 15, 20,000 cards when it's a 1 in 1,000 pull rate. That's 15 million packs to be opened to get that amount of chase cards, right? So it's like, it's a little bit of all of it, but I think live stream being front and center, that's why I wanted to be doing the live streams. ZNG says, Dan, I have 0% in Pokemon. Am I cooked or cooking? Given that you are taking a month off, Mr. ZNG Emporium is taking a month off in this boom. You are cooking, I will say, sir. You are cooking. Congrats to you. Enjoy the time off. I've utilized the service myself. It's a great service. If you are looking to consign through eBay, I proudly will shout out the people. In some ways, they're competitors of mine, right? Because I offer my own consignment service through Fanatics. But ZNG, Probstein, the Green Shiz, Sealed Shiz Consignments, those are the 3 eBay consignment services I've used this year. I believe Probstein and I believe Sealed Shiz will be open in all of June, as far as I know. But Mr. ZNG Emporium is cooking so thoroughly that he's taking an entire month off in a boom. So enjoy the time with family. Hopefully that goes well. I'm sure there will be a wave of stuff going to your PO box. I'm sure there will be a lot of stuff, a big block to start up July. And I think I joked with James. I don't know if this was in a private text message. I don't know if this was in a Discord message, but like, hey, DNG Emporium is closed for a month. I feel like that's kind of bullish. That's kind of bullish, right? Not having all those auctions. Maybe it's bearish because you're not having the auction, record sale, the Instagram post. But I feel like that week that James comes back, fires up, what's he gonna run? 10,000 auctions? 2, 3, 5, 10,000 auctions all in 1 week, early July. That might be the top. James might be the summer slowdown. He might say, bam, I'm back from early summer vacation. Here's 10,000 auctions. Just nuke the market. Nuke the market, selling 10 of every WotC card, 5, 10 of every card at once. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? Maybe James will be the summer slowdown himself. Can you get a MetaZoo to Pokemon pie chart split for the pals? So, ooh, sorry. If you go by pack quantity and pallet quantity, technically speaking, there are, I've lost track of how many investment pallets there are now. 2 Pokemon pallets are finalized, and the 3rd Pokemon pallet is underway, but there's 4 MetaZoo pallets. There's 4 MetaZoo investment pallets. There's one that's blended of all 3 sets, UFO, Seance, Kryptonation, and then there's 3 that are fully UFO, fully Sans, fully Cryptid Nation Second Edition. That might end super dark. That was definitely a known gamble that was taken by myself and my father. We're kind of betting on MetaZoo being a thing. We're kind of betting on Meta 2, new MetaZoo could be a thing, and old MetaZoo might just never come back around, right? Like, it could be entirely separate things, but I took some amount of a stab at, like, I think it will drag it up to some extent. I'm not actively selling any of that. That stuff is just sat there waiting for the right time, waiting for the decades from now, potentially, when it may or may not provide some return. But yeah, I'll definitely, that'll be like a footnote. That'll be a footnote. That'll be a towards the end of the video mention to talk about the 4 MetaZoo pallets that are accompanying the 2 Pokemon pallets. Way more volume, way more packs in MetaZoo, way less value. The Pokemon pallets are dwarfing the MetaZoo pallets in dollar-wise. Hey Dan, can you please show that Bigfoot in the background? I think there's more than one. Which one are we looking at here? This one right here. So this one's PSA 9 Cryptid Nation First Edition. I think this is the one. I have 2. I think this is the one that Gary pulled me. King Pokemon pulled me in Orlando at the $1 Million box break. They broke a base First Edition. They broke Beta Magic, and they broke Kickstarter MetaZoo. And I bought 1 pack into the beta break, and I bought 1 pack into the Cryptid Nation First Edition break. And I think they broke an LOB. I think they broke an LOB box too of Yu-Gi-Oh, but I didn't buy into that one. What's your take on the boom dying down now that Logan Paul and his millions of followers, as well as Aiden Ross's millions of followers, are exposed to Pokemon? I did see. I almost put Logan Paul in my thumbnail. I saw that Alex and Eli put Logan Paul in their thumbnail. I almost did. I saw a little clip. Of, like, I don't know who Aiden Ross is. I don't know if that's someone that I'm supposed to know. I've definitely heard the name, but American internet personality. He's an online streamer. I've heard the name, but not familiar with what he does exactly. But I did see a clip. I saw a clip of this guy with a box in front of him, and Logan Paul was next to him, and Logan Paul was like, "You went with unlimited? Like what are you, broke?" He didn't actually say that, but it would have been funny. He's like, "You didn't go with First Edition. This is unlimited." And he's like, "I don't know what that means. Tell me what it means." And Logan Paul's like, "Oh yeah, this is like, the box was probably 20 grand or something. Someone probably sold that one to him for, if I had to guess, high teens, low 20s, based on today's market." And Logan Paul was like, "Yeah, there's First Edition, and that one has a Charizard that's hundreds of thousands of dollars." And then Aiden Ross went to someone filming, the guy behind the camera, I think. He's like, "Can you get us one of those?" And it's like 300 grand. That's nothing. The way that I would throw around a couple $100 at a casino, the way that I would throw around a couple $100 buying around at a bar or whatever, they'll throw around $300,000. It's like some of these people, I don't know what Logan Paul makes exactly, but as far as I understand, it's several millions of dollars a month, not a year. It is on the order of like 8 figures annually. I don't know if he's bordering on like 9 figures annually. Logan Paul's got like the drink, got all kinds of stuff going on. But I don't see how it couldn't be bullish to some extent. And like the whole summer slowdown thing. If Logan Paul in the next 2 months goes into some hardcore like pumping Pokemon mode, I think the summer slowdown could definitely be overcome by other forces at work. So I don't buy in too much the summer slowdown personally. I don't really interact in my business in a different, like, oh man, the summer slowdown's coming, I better scale everything back, I better sell. Like, I don't do any of that stuff. I just, hey, I'm doing the same thing I was doing a couple months ago. If anything, like I said, I might bring up, I just brought up Skya as the third streamer, the first MetaZoo streamer. I might bring up the third Pokemon streamer sometime this summer. I have to see how that goes. But I think the casual buyer child family are being priced out of the market. I think it will hit a tipping point. When is the question? I it blows my mind how more consumers don't just say this is too expensive for me. I think more consumers need to do it more frequently. Genuinely, if everyone just decided like enough is enough, I'm not buying it for 300. If people only bought it for MSRP, and if people stopped buying it for 300, it would go down. Like I promise you it would. Distros are charging a little bit more. I used to pay 90 to 95. I paid about 100. I paid about 100 or a little bit over 100 for my Destined Rivals allocation. But I could sell it for 150 and make a lot of money. I could sell it for 180 and make a lot of money. I could sell it for 200 and make a lot of money. But if people are paying 270, I'm selling for 270. I don't set the prices. I just sell for them. So if people are getting priced out, and Pokemon, like I've said this a million times, I can only create a short and an Instagram reel of the same thing so many times. Opus points me to it every time. Opus, don't clip this one, Opus. Destined Rivals will be available under MSRP. I'm not going to go so far as to use the G word, but like people are losing their minds. People are losing their minds. Journey Together will be available under MSRP. Destined Rivals will be available under MSRP. Just wait for it. You don't need it when everyone else has to, like, wait. You don't have to have it next set, best set, all the hype, all the, I understand. You want to text your buddy, you want to go to the LGS, you want to go, like, if you're a player, buy the singles. If like build a binder, buying singles. It's there if you want it. The first, whether it's the first hours, days, weeks, months, you're always going to pay some amount of a tax. You're going to pay some amount of a tax. The tax is just way higher today than it used to be historically. But I am as confident as I can be. Pokemon will get it widely available under MSRP. Maybe Prismatic is the first one that doesn't go under, but like 151 was widely available for months. The Japanese box went down to 45. The English stuff was available at Costco everywhere. It was available widely for months during last summer slowdown, right? Patience. Especially if you're new to the hobby. If you're new to the hobby, all you've known is like scalpers, this, that, think of the children. All you've known is that. Don't buy the newest sets. It's like, welcome to the hobby. Welcome to the hobby. How long have you been gone? When I got back in 2014, it's like, hey, Dan, Phantom Forces is the newest set. But just in case you didn't know, while you were gone, we didn't stop. There are all these amazing sets. From when you got out, Dan, at Gym Heroes, all the way to Phantom Forces. You weren't here, but we were. We made 70 new sets. Go buy some of those. Buy singles. Buy some slabs. Buy some random packs. Like, instead of buying $300 Destined Rivals, buy anything. Buy $10 Crown Zenith packs. Buy that was actually the exact advice I gave to some of my buddies who back from high school, they got in like in January-ish. And I sold them $5 Crown Zenith packs. I'm like, hey, I will sell you $15, $10, $15 Prismatic if you want it. Or look at this amazing set, Crown Zenith. I sold them Crown Zenith. They loved it. And they were glad. They're like, hey, Dan, Prismatic is slightly cheaper. And Crown Zenith's nearly double from what you sold it to me for in January. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of know what I'm doing here after 11 years of doing this. As a consumer, everyone has finite amount of dollars. Even as an investor, I would not be consuming, I would not be investing in Destined Rivals at launch. And maybe you miss out on it entirely. I've said this before too. Don't clip this, Opus, because I feel like it's already in a short somewhere. I would rather buy Destined Rivals for 500 in 2 years than buy it for 300 in 2 days. Or like, and I'm an exception because I need it for the live streams. So like, I'm not, if I were an LGS, if I were just an investor who had an allocation to like buy, sell, just, if I had no live stream operation, if I had, like, me a year ago would have just dumped Destined Rivals instantly, all of it. I would have dumped Battle Styles. So here's, let's take a trip down memory lane. Battle Styles, it came out. People might not remember. What's Battle Styles today? Probably about like $200. Everything's $200 now. But Battle Styles came out. I insta sold everything for 150 a box. It was stupid. Vivid Voltage came out. I insta sold everything at 150 to $200 a box. It was stupid. It was dumb as hell. And last time we had this much tension, last time we had this much drama, think of the children, scalper this, scalper that. It was Vivid Voltage. It was Vivid Voltage and Shining Fates. And you know what happened? The same thing that's going to happen with Destined Rivals and the same thing that's going to happen with Journey Together. I can't go so far as to guarantee it, but I'm as confident as I can be that the same things will happen. Maybe not to the same extent, maybe not as bad. Like those went low for a long time. Those went low for a long time. Years they were available under MSRP. They only just sold out on Pokemon Center 6 months ago, 8 months ago, whenever it was. It's gonna come around. So all I can tell you is if you're new, I've been around for a while, 11 years, and there's been times periodically where it's gotten like this, and every time it's come back around. But like people in the Pokemon investing YouTube space like to say, hey, today every set is higher than when it came out, so like boxes only go up, yada yada. Another thing that's true, if we're gonna say like it's always happened, so it always will, every set's been widely available under MSRP. So using the same logic of like if it's always happened, it always will happen, which I could poke holes in, but like let's just go with it. Let's just go with it. Every set has been available under MSRP, and every set will be. That's my take. I'm gonna scroll down to get some of the newer comments, and then I'll go back and get more questions. People can skip sets. Yes, like absolutely. You don't have to. I know it's got to catch them all. I know I'm catch them all collectibles. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. And say that this time it's different. Very dangerous words that a lot of people say all the time. This time it's different. Destined will never go under MSRP. It will go down to some extent. Look what Journey's doing right now. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm not, and I don't think I'm gonna be wrong. 90+% confident that I will not be wrong. But I truly believe Journey and Destined Rivals will be available under MSRP, widely available. Not only that, I think they'll be widely available significantly below MSRP. MSRP is not a good price. It's so dumb. 6 months, 7 months, however long we've been in this, since early into the surging release, we're acting like MSRP is a good price that people want to pay. MSRP is a terrible price. Nothing is ever MSRP. Boxes come out and they're usually $100. I appreciate you, G1T Landon, drop in 20 gifted. Appreciate that. Last time I was here long before it. I've been here long after it. I don't plan on going away anytime soon. Last time we had all this MSRP debate and drama, it was Vivid Voltage and Shining Fates. And it's gonna come back around. I'm telling you, it's gonna come back around. And it's like what's the downside? Say that you heed my general advice of like patience. If you heed my advice in the most bull case possible that I can possibly imagine, which some people think is like certainty, the most bull case that I can possibly imagine, it would be absolutely insane if Destined never goes below 250 and a year from now it never got a reprint. What's it going to be? 350, 400? I would still preach patience. Once you round the corner on a year, if this truly is still going on to the extent it is right now, and we round the corner on a year and Destined has still never come under 300, and every new set has released above MSRP, joining the likes of Journey and Prismatic, say we're at the 5th, 6th, 7th sets, I attribute less than a 5% chance of that happening. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying it's very unlikely. If we get to the end of the year and it's Christmas time and no set all year has been available under MSRP, maybe I'm wrong. And I would rather, with more confidence, buy Destined for 500. Because you know what happens in that market? If that's the reality we're facing, Sword and Shield boxes will be 1,000. They'll all be like, if Destined Rivals is 500 a year from now, 6, 8, 12 months from now, that will be insane. That will be insane. The market will be doing crazy things. Early Sword Shield will be, there will be $500 boxes. Sorry, early Scarlet Violet. There will be Scarlet Violet boxes that are 300 to 500. So still, like even if Destined goes up, oh Dan, well, I don't want to miss out. So in the event that you do miss out, you would have been better off. You would have been better off buying $200 Scarlet Violet base. You would have been better off buying $300 random Sword Shield set. You would have like if you need to have it all. Well, it's not just Destined Rivals. It's not just like you need all of it, right? You need to go back and you need to get all of it. Or is that too old? That's vintage now. We don't collect vintage. Maybe that's the answer. I don't know. But that's my take on it. My take on it is like if you truly have to have Destined, then why don't you have to have the other ones? I would buy anything before Destined at 300. I think you're better off buying anything SV1 through SV4, especially anything Sword Shield, anything with a Sword Shield prefix. I think is a better buy. And that doesn't mean they're all guaranteed to perform better ROI than Destined. But like using logic, using reason, using 11 years of experience in the hobby, I just risk adjusted, all those things. Destined Rivals is like the worst buy at release. My take. If you're a live streamer, if you're an LGS, and people just, some people are going to have it. You should have it in stock. You should buy some amount. Try to go into the market, try to pay 85, 90%, whatever it is. Try to get it so that you can have it to sell it. I will be doing that. But otherwise, I would sell it all. And how well did that pan out? My ROI, my having the ability to take that, go back in time to Battle Styles, go back in time to Vivid Voltage. I'm gonna write it down. I have a lot of videos I have to do coming up soon. The pallet video, the gray felt hat video. But at some point, it would be such a timely video. I'm usually really bad at timing videos, but a case study. I'm gonna do a case study on Vivid, Battle Styles, and Shining Fates. I will show you how many I got allocated. I will show you how many I sold. I'll just show you everything, and it's like I sold them all. I might have set 1 or 2 cases back out of my several cases that I gotten, but it and then I didn't just like not that I just 50% plus my money. I bought my allocation at 85, 90 or probably 85 bucks, and then I insta sold it for 150. So I just made 50% on my money after tax, after fees, after everything, or after fees. And then I had that cash flow, and I went and I bought collections, and I graded cards, and I bought my next allocations, and I turned that money. So like I didn't just get a 50% instant ROI. I leveraged that money into more money too. I built part of what I have today because of it. So it's crazy to me. It's crazy. Is Destined bad at 204 before tax? This question is so scary to me, and I don't mean to be mean. I don't mean to pick on you. When you say before tax, you're talking about Destined with risk, like financially. So in my mind, it's like I'm gearing up my mind for like, let me put myself in cardboard 1, 2, 3 shoes. You're investing, you're speculating, you're flipping to some extent because you're talking about like price go up. You're talking about resale. You could sell it right away for profit. Why are you talking about tax? Please tell me you're not paying sales tax. If you are buying items intended for resale, that is sales tax exempt. You are a business operating as a business. Please, please, please. No price with tax. I don't care if you're paying $100 with tax. That's too much because you should have paid 90 without tax, 91, 92 without tax. If you are talking about paying sales tax, speculating in Pokemon cards, what are we doing here? Please stop. Please do things above board. Get registered as a business because you are one. If you're trying to make money, that kills me. Because some people are out here, Destined is 270 on certain websites, eBay, wherever, TCG Player. Some people are paying 300. Some people are paying 110% of market, and that's so scary. The frictional fees of this space are already so high. If you sell, well, they can be relatively low. If you sell through Probstein above $1,000, 95% payout. That's insane. Every Scarlet Violet era case is above that now. 95% payout on your auctions. But it's so scary to think that people are trying to like do business. I gotta look into business license for sure. I'm in Canada, so it's a bit different. What I'm saying is very United States biased. I don't know how it works in Canada, but I'm quite confident that there is some business benefit you can get. I'd be very shocked. Canada is quite similar to US. I'd be very shocked if you couldn't be fully sales tax exempt in Canada along the lines the same way that we have in the US. Every state, every jurisdiction, every country calls different things differently. But it's so scary. Like I truly, I don't like 204 before tax means you're paying like what, 220, 225. I don't like destined at 225. If you're instantly flipping it, but like if you sell it for 270, you pay 10% fees. There's not a whole lot of room there. By the time you ship it, like, what do you make it, $5 a box? If you want to just insta flip it, make guaranteed money, sell it for cash locally, that would be great. I would not touch destined as an investment, even at 20% below market. Market price is absurd right now. And maybe it goes up, and maybe that ages poorly. What I'm doing personally, I'm getting 20 whatever cases of it, or 30 whatever cases of it. I'm putting 4 on the pallet because I made that rule a year ago. We'll talk about it Monday. But aside from that, I need to have it for the live streams. I'm going to keep it stocked like as bare bones as I can. Same thing I'm doing right now with surging. And maybe I pay for it. Maybe I hindsight like, oh man, surging never got another reprint. It ran away from me. I'm open to having that happen because I'm putting more in older packs. That if surging goes up, if the bull case happens for destined, the sword shield that I'm holding will do better. I'm as confident as I can be of that. I can't be like, you're not going to get everything right. But if your strategy is to buy the newest set at double MSRP plus sales tax, that's a winning strategy over the long term. Short term, maybe it can win. Short term, you can go into a casino and you can hit 0-0 on occasion. But long run, you will get wiped out with strategies like that, in my opinion. Let me scroll up and make sure I didn't miss any more. I know I missed more questions, so I need to be better about that though. I try to get like a good groove going where I take the questions old to new, but then if there's like relevant conversation going on in the live chat, I hate when I come back 40 minutes later and it's like I have no idea what that guy's talking about. So I'm gonna do my best. I'm definitely not on Mount Rushmore, but I very much appreciate your consideration there. Zach would be on my Mount Rushmore. Rusty would be on my Mount Rushmore. But the thought of me being up there on anyone's is wild to me, but I appreciate it. Dan was gone, so I thought the boom was too. We are so back. We are back to our fortnightly. Let's see. I just bought some of these Arceus V collection boxes and they have Cosmic Eclipse in it with Brilliant. So they definitely do it. Oh yeah. This was when I was just doing the thing that I talked about doing. This is when I was talking about multiple generation old products. So like you're talking about a Sword Shield era set with some relatively with some Sun Moon era product in it. Lots of good people in the hobby. Some of us were just early. Very, very true words spoken by Gem Mint Pokemon. Still good investments. Evolving booster boxes 1500, chilling booster box 350, battle styles 190. I'm not personally buying any of them, though I do hold some of all of them. So I'm not buying more at these prices, but I'm also not selling. So again, talk versus walk. These might do better than some of the things that I'm actively buying, but I'm buying what I'm buying because I like it more. I think it will be better for me. Sometimes people get so restricted to like chart for A went up 10% over a certain time frame. Chart for B went up 30% over a time frame. So B wins, right? Not always. There's gray area, there's nuance, there's always like more specifics that you could get into. So B went up 30%, A only went up 10%. But what if I told you that the A that went up 10%, I bought 2,000 packs of it loose. And I passed on 2,000 packs loose of B. Even though B went up 30%, I bought, sold for a 10% net gain. Bought, sold, 3 times over. The liquidity was higher, whatever it may be. Like there's always more than just the charts. If you look at just the charts, like this went up, this went, and a lot of people, and I do this too. So sometimes I don't give the nuance. Sometimes I don't give all the in-depth stuff. A lot of people will look at, and they'll bully the S&P 500. They'll bully the traditional stuff, and a lot of times those aren't factoring. If people are like reinvesting their dividends, a lot of times those are just gains X dividend without the dividends, essentially, without reinvested dividends. And some people, to be fair, some people don't have dividend reinvestment enabled. They take the dividend and they spend it, or they take the dividend and they deploy it elsewhere. So there's always nuance. There's always nuance to charts. There's always more information. And one thing Retro says that I don't disagree with this. Journey is 2 to 220. Destined makes sense at 270. Destined, there's a chance that it goes up. Like when I say that if it was me a year ago, if it was me 3 years ago, I would literally take my entire allocation of Destined and I would liquidate it. Maybe I'd set 1 or 2 cases back. I don't remember what I did for Battle Styles. If I remember correctly, and that's why I'll do a case study, I think I sold every one I had. I think I sold all of them. And I'm like, this is insane. $150 a box at release? Yes, please. I'll buy them back later. And I sold them all and I bought them back later. There's a chance that I could buy, I could take all my Destined at 270 and I could sell it all and it could be 350 by summer. Here's the bull case. Destined, I was just saying it earlier a little bit. Destined could be 500 by Christmas. I don't want it to be. I don't think it will be, but it could be. It could be 500 by Christmas and it could be 120 by Christmas. If you want to get really technical, like, it could be sub 100. I don't think it's going to be sub 100, but like, we'll see. One of my chats is a lot quicker than the other. Retro, I see your comment, but I can't highlight it yet because it's not on my highlight chat. There we go. Let's go live and finalize the bet. Destined will never be widely available under MSRP. I will take that bet on it. I will take the bet that Destined will be widely available under MSRP. How much do you want to bet on that? I don't want to bet. I don't want to take too much money from you. But we're both doing well. We're both doing well. Why don't we bet like some Pokemon product? Why don't we bet like? Let me know what you're thinking. I don't want to bet like $5 grand or 10 grand. But it's a silly bet in a lot of ways because it's like I've said it before, but it's like if I lose the bet, I won elsewhere. I made more money than I bet. But yeah, let me know, Retro, what you're thinking for the bet. I'm fully open to taking it. I think it's more of a bragging rights thing. I want you to sign some card. Sign a Giovanni card. I want a signed Giovanni card that said I was wrong. That's what I want. More than money, I want a signed Giovanni card from Destined Rivals that says retrospects, I was wrong, you were right. That's what I want. And I would do the same for you. A Quaxley card, a Giovanni card, whatever you wanted. I think that's a better bet. Bet a whole skid. No, I could be wrong. I'm open to being wrong, but we'll see what happens. Crown Zenith over 10-2. I don't think it is yet. I think it's like 970 something market price. But again, that one, I was wrong. I will admit that. I said it was. I said way too firmly. Like disclaimer, Dan on the fence, Dan. I said with way too much force that Crown Zenith. I don't see a path for Crown Zenith to get to 10 by next January, and it's 981 market price on TCG Player as of right now, with the most recent sale at 1039. So the most recent sale is over 10 now. But I could be wrong on this, and I might eat these words, but I feel like I have 2.5 years on my side. That's actually great. Like I'll do that. So let's bet this. It's good because it's like I have one right here behind me. I will if you want it signed, if you want it not signed, I will say I was right, I was wrong, you were right, all those things. That Happy Gilmore one, I'll send that bad boy to you, and you send one to me if I end up being right. So Retrospecs and someone clip it, someone post this somewhere. Retro and I formally bet one sealed Team Rocket suitcase that I bet my side is that at some point, reasonably in the next 2.5 years, probably, because if it doesn't happen in 2.5 years, it's probably not going to happen. In the next 2.5 years, within its print cycle, Destined Rivals will be widely available under MSRP. And just to be clear, Retro, I'm not necessarily saying the box. I'm not necessarily saying the ETBs. I'm saying some product that's primarily something. The ETBs and or the box and or some Destined Rivals collection box that has 4 packs for $20. Something along those lines. It's got to be sealed in Pokemon Center box. Well, I'll have to buy one more from you then. I only have this one behind me. So Retro, I'll buy one more from you and then I will bet that one with you. So I will have 2 of them soon. Then I will DM you after the live. But bets are fun. So far as public PokeTuber to PokeTuber bets go, I think I'm 1 for 1. I don't think I have it next to me still, but I have a PSA 10 unlimited Pikachu that I won from James on betting if and when PSA would reopen sub $10 grading. So I'm 1 for 1. Will I go 2-0? Will I go 1-2? Sorry, 1-1, 1 for 2. We'll see. But yeah, let me hop back to the questions, and I will keep it going. Appreciate you being here. And since I got them on screen, shout out _retrospecs on Instagram. Shout out retrospecs. It's not retrospecs.com. It's retrospecs.shop. Use code MEAT for $5 off your order of $100 or more. He's got Metazoo. He's got Pokemon 151. He's got Shiny Treasure, Paradise Dragona. He's got some boxes that are sold out. He's got V-Star Universe. So shout out to _retrospecs on Instagram for wholesale purchases of Japanese product. Shout out retrospecs.shop for individual booster box purchases of lower quantities. So got the shout outs in there. Dan's gonna send me a link for Destined Rivals deck sleeves at sub MSRP and say payout buster. No, I will definitely take my loss graciously. I will publicly show it off on camera in the live stream the day before I send it to you, and I will take my L with grace if and when I do lose, but I do not think I will lose. Yeah, let me scroll back up. Slug Alex says Bitcoin or sealed. I own some Bitcoin. I own some sealed. I own more Bitcoin. Sorry, more sealed than Bitcoin, but I own some of both. Anyone born in the 90s was early, but only the few brave ones stuck with it. That's you and Rusty Zach. If you feel like you missed out on Sword Shield, do you recommend buying in now or focusing on Scarlet Violet and wait for those to appreciate? It's very like case by case depending on what set you're looking at, but generally speaking, if I had to speak broadly, and it's getting worse by the day right now because Sword Shield is kind of pumping a little bit. Rudy's pumping it. It's going through a moment right now. But generally speaking, I like Sword Shield better. I generally like Sword Shield better. Today's sets, today's prices, I like them better than Scarlet Violet. Generally, that doesn't mean the worst Sword Shield is better than the best Scarlet Violet. I generally like if you force me, Dan, you have to spend 10 grand and you have to put it away for 5 years. Secret, I'm literally doing that with the palette. Stay tuned for Monday because I'm going to show you literally what I'm forcibly holding for the next 5 years. I'm probably going to sneak. I'm going to sneak a couple Sword Shield cases on there. Looking at my palettes from Pallet 1, Pallet 2, they are missing certain Sword Shield era cases, and I'm probably going to make it so they have at least one of everything. I might even, I'll have to give my dad a good deal on it, but I might even put my one Evolving Skies case on the pallet. As insane as that is, I could probably private sell it right now for like 10K. Maybe even more than that. Rudy mentioned that he had a patron that bought one privately for 12K. 12K crypto, maybe to avoid the crypto gains, the crypto tax. But I might sneak a couple Sword Shield era cases on Pallet 3. In hindsight, regretting that I didn't put them on Pallet 1, chasing. But generally speaking, I like a lot of those. And it's crazy because I sold some. I sold some Silver Tempest a few weeks ago, but I generally like those better than a lot of Scarlet Violet cases. But simultaneously, to selling that those few cases Silver Tempest, I sold 4 on YouTube. I've also sold. I'm not selling everything, not wholesale selling out, but I've sold a couple dozen. I've sold a couple dozen cases in the past few months. I sold a couple dozen cases in the past few months of Scarlet Violet era cases. And some of those are Journey Together. Some of those are Surging Sparks. Some of those are definitely going to do it with Destined Rivals when it comes out. Most of them are going to be streamed, but I'm going to sell some. I'm going to sell some cases too for sure. Have you seen your pack break opening numbers peak yet or still increasing monthly? So I just was updating this. I've got to do a little presentation to my I've got to do a little presentation to my streamers, but we streamed. Was it a peak? Was it not a peak? We did more in March than we did in April. One extenuating circumstance for that is that we had a blowout stream on March 31st. On a Monday, we sold $60,000 in Pokemon cards on a Monday, and the rest of the week was kind of like dead because of it. We really pushed our consumers to the limit in that live stream. So week 1 of April suffered because of the massive blowout night we had to end March. But March was 20,000 packs and April was 16,000 packs. April recoiled back to where February was approximately. So I have less than a week's worth of data for May, but I did just update it this morning. Let me see preliminary what May is starting to look like. So the last week we've sold. Where'd my heading go? Oh, there it is. So we've sold 4,600 packs in the last week. We are on pace for, I guess that's 18,000 pack pace. So it's still a little bit less than March, but it's more than April. So have we peaked? I don't know. Maybe we have. Have we peaked? I told you all the data, so I don't entirely know, but that's the actual data there. If Dan were on Mount Rushmore, he'd be wearing a bucket as a hat. I don't entirely know what that means, but I honestly don't pay attention. I don't have like ESPN. I don't pay attention to much off-season stuff. The Rangers are golfing now. I do not even know of that hire, to be honest. I'm reading some quick headlines on it. Why Rangers Mike Sullivan hire isn't same old, and the looming questions, blah, 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 blah. I don't get too much. Like back in college, back in high school, I used to watch SportsCenter with my bowl of cereal every morning. I used to really be into everything. Used to really get big into studying for all the fantasy drafts. I used to do fantasy hockey, fantasy football, fantasy baseball, all of it. I turn the games on more, like less often than I used to still, but I turn the games on and I don't follow much off the ice stuff. I don't follow much of the off-season free agency trades, drafts. I really don't follow it. Buying everything you can is one thing, but the person who buys it and loves it no matter if it goes up or down in price is the true collector. And we need the collectors. If you are a business, if you are a speculator investor, you need the collectors. Fundamentally, like at the end of the day, if nobody is collecting this, if everyone's just hot potato, trading it back and forth, prices go up, if everyone's investing, that is dark days for everyone. We need collectors at the core. And I think we have a lot of them. I think we have a ton of them. Some people are like, everyone's investing. It's all fake. It's all just scalpers scalping to scalpers who scalp to other scalpers and investors. And I don't think it's that. I know it's not that because we just ripped 20,000 packs in March and 16,000 packs in April. And we're on pace to rip 18,000 packs in May. So I know it's not all that. That's all consumption. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Place your bets. And I just placed my bet with Retro. We're going to see what happens, right? Put your chips on the table and see where they fall. Have you had more fun in Pokemon as a collector or a full-time business? I've had a lot of fun in both ways. 2014 to 2019 were great times in the hobby for me. I look fondly back on my first event. I look fondly back on Worlds in 2018, going and meeting Gem Mint Pokemon, going and meeting old school Pokemon for the first time, going and meeting everybody, all the E4 folks back in the day. Great times. And I'm having a blast now too. It's very different. It's very different, and I appreciate it. It's like having kids, right? I have young kids right now. I have 4 and a 6-year-old. And do I like having a 4 and 6-year-old? Maybe I'm bad for saying this, but like I generally like having a 4 and 6-year-old a fair bit more than having a 6-month and 2.5-year-old because they do more and no poopy diapers. But you understand the sentiment, I think, in that I liked having very young, like baby and a toddler. I like having 2 young kids. I'm gonna like having, and some days I won't like it, but a lot of days I'll love it too. I'm gonna love having 2 teenagers. I'm gonna love having 2 adult kids. Hopefully someday. I'm gonna love going through the cycle again with grandkids. I can't say which one's better. I can't say which one I like more. I'm just enjoying it all. I'm enjoying it all, the whole journey. Let's see. Question for you. What is the booster box you remember having the most fun opening when you got back into the hobby and opened one of almost every booster box at the time? I've opened everything aside from base set first edition English. I opened base set first edition in every language that it was offered in aside from English. I just couldn't afford it. I opened a heavy pack. I still remember opening that Ninetales pack back in my first house. I literally still have them here. When I was on with TJ last week, somehow we got talking about it. My Deaxys box I opened, my Legendary Collection box that I opened. I enjoy them all. I'm so bad at picking favorites. My Aquapolis, my Expedition. I'm so bad at picking favorites. But I pulled crystals. I pulled gold stars. I pulled first edition shinings. I pulled everything. It's probably a lame answer, but honestly, like that first base set box that I went back and opened for like $500 or $600, that first base set, that first time I pulled the Charizard, chills, like brought me back to my childhood. That first one, like I've opened several now. I've opened a bunch of them. I never opened a Charizard from base set in my childhood. And that first base one where I pulled it, that was something. That was wild. And it's probably like, this guy opened every EX era, every e-reader. This guy opened every Diamond and Pearl, they were all cool. They were all really awesome. And I pulled a lot of cool cards. But that first Charizard, that was something else. Does anybody else cringe when they hear new age lingo? Is this what we sounded like in the 90s when we said that's the bomb and that sucks? I've gone to some get-togethers, some family gatherings with teenagers and younger kids and older, like all different age ranges, and the skibbities and the Riz and the I don't even know all of them. I'm showing my age here. Probably most people listening will some will know some of those words, some will have no idea what I'm talking about, but it's the same thing. I think every generation has their things like that. Maybe it's accelerating, maybe it's a little bit worse with the ubiquity of social media and everything, but let's see. I don't understand why people buy Zards for like $800 raw and new sets. I mean, you know, when you sell it, you're burning them. I don't understand how people buy a $300 set out of the gate at launch. Like I truly don't understand with everything else that exists in the world, because like everyone has finite capital, and some people have so much money that it's like $300, who cares? The same way that Aiden Ross guy will just go and on a whim he'll buy a base set first edition booster box because his buddy Logan Paul told him like, ew, you bought a base set limited, that's gross. Buy base set first edition, it's only 300 grand. The way that he will throw around that money, there's a lot of people in this world that $300, who cares? Like I want the newest set, who cares? I have them, but there's a lot of people, and it's crazy thing to say as a guy who runs a live stream operation where we'll be selling Destined Rivals out of the gate at 105, 110% of market. It is insane for me to say this, but like a lot of people buying Destined Rivals probably shouldn't be. A lot of people that are putting money into the hobby, especially when it's 300, like let alone when it's 100 and it's a new set and it's 100 and that's what they historically are. It costs something. It's got to cost something. A lot of people probably shouldn't be buying it at 300 because it's going to be available cheaper in the future. And even if it's not, it's like just from the pure consumerism, like I'm going to spend this 300. You can't stop me. I'm an adult. It's my money. Okay. I just think there's better places to spend it. The same stream that will be selling Destined at, what are we going to be selling at? $10 a pack? The same stream will be selling Destined at $8, $9, $10 a pack. We'll also be selling Crown at like $10 a pack. I think Crown's going to be a way better buy because it's way less likely to get reprinted. A lot of people would guarantee that it's never being printed again, which I'm quite confident it's never being reprinted again, but I wouldn't guarantee it. Anyways, that's all my rants and rambles on that. No Cryptid Nation first edition on the palette. So I do have a little bit of Nightfall. I have a little bit of Native. I have a little bit of like everything. but not on the pallets. My dad and I bought from Event on eBay. So we just bought what they had available. When you're selling graded cards on eBay, how do you shift your inventory when there are delays like we have with PSA, BGS, etc? I have 50 cards I've been waiting from PSA, and I have 50 put on hold. You just gotta wait. Everyone's in the same boat. Certain cards are worth paying more to get through the line quicker, but it's there's no perfect way to navigate it. Oh, no way. I just saw Let's Go Knicks 91-90. Knicks lead 2-0 over Boston. That's awesome. And those were both in Boston, right? I think basketball is still 2-3-2. So Celtics are the home team. So there's going to be 3 games in a row in the Garden, I believe. Unless they go 2-2, 1-1-1. But anyways, yeah. Everyone's going through the same thing. Maybe you grade a little bit more with CGC because they're a little bit quicker. Some people were grading with tag for a while they were quicker. Now they're really slow too. So it's everyone's trying to navigate the same thing. Certain cards are worth paying more to get them back quicker. Certain cards, that's not going to pan out well. Some people are going to be just sending more into the backlog. Maybe they're grading for the first time ever. And then 6 months from now, they're going to get slammed with thousands in grading fees on their PSA 8s that are worth less in PSA 8, half of what they were worth when they sent them raw. And some people are going to get destroyed by them, just like they did back in 2020, 2021, 2022. A lot of people, like, the only way they engage with the hobby is going to Walmart, going to their LGS, going onto YouTube and looking at PokeRev videos. And PokeRev is usually opening the latest and greatest sets. I made the meme, not just me, a lot of people, next set, best set. Next set, newest set is best set of all time. That's by design. That's Pokemon's marketing. Everyone everywhere is pushing the newest set because it's the newest set, because it's like that's just where the hype is. That's where the money is for most businesses taking money out of the hobby. So a lot of people, like, they're just stuck on, did you watch the latest episode of that big show that everyone's watching? Did you buy the latest set? Like, ew, you're buying Crown Zenith? That's so 2.5 years ago. That's so, like, gross. That's vintage. That's yucky. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You bought Crown Zenith in a Catch 'em All Collectibles live stream for $10 a pack? I was buying Destined Rivals for $10 a pack. Did you pull? No, I bricked my life away. I lost $300 bricking my life away on 36 packs or whatever it ends up being. And but like that's the latest greatest set, and you got to buy that one, right? It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me how so many people choose to buy that compared to other things. Like, and I'm talking in Pokemon and then outside of Pokemon too. Like but that's the great thing about life. That's the great thing about life. Some people value certain things more than other people value them. And somebody might spend their $300 going to a Rangers game. Some people might spend it going to a nice fancy steak dinner. Some people might spend it on a nice new pair of shoes or a nice new coat or a nice new bag. Or they'll buy it going golfing. Maybe they'll go, instead of going to like the local country or the local golf course, the local links, they'll go to the fancy country club across town. And they'll spend $300 on a round of golf, or they'll drive up to the mountains in Vermont, or they'll fly up to Colorado. Like they'll go and they'll spend $300 freezing their butts off on a mountain, snowboarding, skiing. It's like we all value different things. Money is just a tool that we use to buy things that make us happy, buy things that give us freedom, buy things that whatever we value, we put our money towards. And I don't value Pokemon cards that much, honestly. It's crazy. I'm talking against my business in some ways, but I'm not a buyer at 300. I'm gonna open a couple ETBs with the family. It's a tradition we have. New set comes out a couple days before it launches that Friday. Wednesday we'll be opening 6 packs each, me and my family, something like that. I'm gonna give us a booster bundle each because it's too much money. We'll open more in the future if we want to, but oh no, Ethan's investing in an Evolving Skies booster box. What you pay, Ethan? To me, it's you're crushing it, Ethan. And I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but outside looking in, tying up over $1,000. Will that $1,000+ $1,200, $1,500? Will that provide good ROI to you? Maybe, potentially. the way that you're crushing. So for anyone who doesn't know, Ethan's like local to me, and he sells to me some, he buys from me some. He's crushing. He's vending a bunch of local conventions. I worry for you that the liquidity, the cash flow that you tie up in that box will cost you more than the box returns to you. Like if the box doubles in the next year, I believe in you that you could have done more with that money this summer. I think you could have hustled conventions, buying collections, whatever it may be. I might be wrong there. Maybe you don't have the time. Maybe you got a summer gig, whatever. But that's my initial take. I'm not telling you to sell it. I'm not telling anyone what to do ever. But that's my thoughts around that. I just, it all depends where you're at in your journey. It all depends where you're at in your journey. And I don't know Ethan's cash flow. I don't know his situation entirely. Pokemon Phenom says, I've been screaming. Oh, so I missed part 2. I've been screaming for months that Sword Shield boxes made way more sense than SV. What do you think could have caused people to be so blinded? Like all the hype, all the stuff is always around the newest set. That's why I think. The problem is Evolving Skies is really the best set of all time. I so disagree with that. I don't think it's a top 10 set, best set of all time. And Ethan says 75% of market. So again, I'm not telling you what to do, but if I bought an Evolving Skies box at 75% of market, I would insta flip it for 90 to 95% of market, and I would keep it pushing. I would keep that liquidity churning. I do whatever you're gonna do, but that's what I would do personally. That said, I have 1K set back, which is a crazy amount of money, but like relative to my cash flow, relative to my situation. It same arena, different rules, different games, blah blah blah. The same things I always say. Let me scroll back up, take more questions. Appreciate everyone being here. We're doing decent. We got a 3-figure concurrent viewer count. Con Weezy says that's a wild take. What's a wild take? A wild take is that having the liquidity, having $1,200 to flip with, if you enjoy flipping, if you that you can't outperform a stagnant, like a box just sitting on your shelf. Oh God. Retro's poking, but I'm not gonna share all the exact numbers. But yes, I do have pallets of stuff set back, but I also have several tens of thousands of packs in play. So I'll have to do this. I'll have to make a note to do this for the pallet video. How many? I don't know how many packs are on the pallets exactly. So pallet video, exactly how many packs? So I might have 10 to 15,000 packs set back, inactive, invested in. I have 85,000 packs in play, churning, ready to go. So again, I don't know Ethan's capital. I don't know his cash flow. I don't know all that stuff. I don't know anyone's entire situation. You never can. But Con Weezy says Evolving Skies not being top 10. Top 10 of all time? Top 10 of every set ever created? I don't think, like, depending on what aspect you say, okay, it has Moonbryon. I'll give it that, it has Moonbryon. But opening experience, it's nowhere near top 10, personally, I don't think. If I could open 10 packs of any set, like 36 packs of any set, I'm going to have one of the least enjoyable times opening Evolving Skies. And on about different aspects of it. But anyways, Ethan says I'm trying to build my collection, so I'll probably end up trading it for higher end slabs. Do whatever you're gonna do. Obviously, I'm not trying to push you anyway. I'm just giving you some of the considerations. My first several years of my journey were very high percentage PC. Very high percentage of what I was doing was tied up in my PC, and I definitely benefited heavily from having a decent sized PC. But I was also maxing out my time. I was maxing out my time, and I wasn't really handicapped liquidity wise. My PC at the time didn't significantly handicap me in any way. I from time to time I took a personal loan from myself personally. My business took a loan from me personally, and then I just repaid it back later when I sold this stuff. But great set is defined by the individual, right? There's no objective way to rate the top 10 sets, but for me personally, opening experience is one of the foremost things for ranking a great set. Genuinely. Like, that's, certain people will say, I'm never going to open it, so I don't give a crap about the opening experience. Entirely fair. Me personally, the way that I would rate sets would tie in heavily opening experience. Crown Zenith is very, very high on my list. Way above Evolving Skies, personally. But yeah, let me scroll back up and make sure I don't miss any of these older questions. I will get to everything eventually. Dan, if you ever start a 69th streamer, I call dibs. Pokemage87 officially has dibs on 69th streamer for Catch 'em All collectibles. I don't think we'll ever get above 5. Maybe we don't even ever get to 5, but at 3 currently, Ponga PK, Skya, Sky's Metazoo, Ponga PK are Pokemon. But I don't think 69's coming. But if it does, you've got it. Fusion correction will be 450 question mark. No idea. I think to an extent it corrected, right? And it's headed back up a little bit. But Fusion Strike booster box, let's see. I think it's already corrected down a little bit and now it's headed back up. Will it correct down again? I don't know. Yeah, TCG player shows. Oh, TCG players. The 3-month chart on TCG player works. And then the 6-month chart, when I go to it, it's broken. Let me cover my camera in case my desk is showing my messy desk. Okay, good, it's not. So let me show. I think this is the right one. Yes. So let me show Fusion Strike here. I don't like TCG Player. It's a bad site in a lot of ways. It just doesn't work. But yeah, this is Fusion Strike. Let me scroll up so you can see it's Fusion Strike. Look at the line. Look at the line on the 3-month. We're rocketing. We're booming. But then when I click on 6 months, I've been noticing this a lot lately. I don't look at charts on TCG Player that much, but I do occasionally. When I click on 1 month, it works. When I click on 3 months, it works. When I click on 6 months, it just breaks. It breaks, all the sales data goes away. And when I click on year, the last, so I guess I get more. So 6 months is entirely broken. And then when I go to a year, it's broken for the last 6 months. I don't know what is going on. I've noticed it more than just on Fusion Strike. I've noticed it multiple places lately. It's annoying. It's annoying. I don't know why it does that, but it's significantly above 450 already. Which is a better buy for investments? 2 Prismatic Evolutions PC ETBs or Lost Origin Booster Box? I would personally pick Lost Origin Booster Box. I own 0 Prismatic PC ETBs and I own several Lost Origin Booster Boxes sealed inside cases. So that's what I'd pick because I have one and I don't have the other. So that speaks volumes, I think. Logan Paul has like 100 million less than Eminem. That's kind of crazy. I don't know if it's crazy that Eminem has so little or Logan Paul has so much or I don't know what, but I'm assuming you're looking at like net worth. I think the net worth calculator, like if you Google celebrity net worth, they show a number. I think those are wildly inaccurate. I could be wrong, but I think they're wildly inaccurate. If you look up like Elon Musk net worth, Warren Buffett net worth, one of the Walton family's net worth, those are relatively accurate, I think, at least with respect to their public holdings of public companies, because that needs to be legally disclosed, and it probably doesn't factor in all their jets and their helicopters and their property and all their Pokemon investments and all their gold and whatever other artwork, but it's probably extremely accurate for their publicly traded company holdings. JP Question says, I agree with the point of Destined Rivals being available for MSRP are lower with allocations being the same or more as Journey Together. Black and White will be a made-to-order set as every last special set is printed hard. Yeah, we'll see. I have no idea. Every set, though, Crown Zenith, widely available for a long time under MSRP. Surging Sparks was for a very short time. At release, for like a day, I would still call Surging Sparks has been widely available. Pre-orders for weeks were well below 110, 120, 130. Around release, they were right around MSRP, and then it took off from there. But the only sets that haven't been widely available under MSRP so far are Prismatic, Journey Together, and Destined, and they're all the last 3 sets. I am betting on all of them becoming available under MSRP. If everyone stopped buying above MSRP, the prices would stop being above MSRP. It is literally as simple as that. But the thing is, some people do stop, and they get mad at others for not stopping. You can't do that. That's what capitalism is. It's like, I've made the analogy to Taylor Swift. I watched Taylor Swift in a concert. I watched her open for Rascal Flatts. Yes, I listen to country music. I'm actively listening to country music as we speak. 2 weeks ago, it wasn't working. I changed no settings, and now it's working. So I'm being serenaded by some 90s country music. Got some nice Tracy Bird playing right now. But anyways, I watched Taylor Swift open for Rascal Flatts. I'm a true TREW Swiftie. I really don't listen to her music that much anymore. When she went to pop, it's like I'm country, or I listen to all kinds of music. But anyways, where this crazy rant is going, if I wanted to go to a Taylor Swift concert again, thousands of dollars. It's not unfair. It's not wrong. It's not like people value that much. It's a luxury good. Nobody needs to go to a Taylor Swift concert. But if you want to, capitalism, you got to compete with everybody else who wants it most. That's the way that it goes. So Retro, I hashed this out with I don't know if you watch the Poke Flips or not. I don't know if you watch it in general, but Surging was available sub MSRP. So Surging, check mark, it's already happened. It already was widely available sub MSRP. I pulled it up. I pulled it up on Poke Flips. We hashed that out. But just because some people think they have to have it, just because some people want it for sub MSRP, which, mind you, is historically a terrible price. Historically speaking, MSRP is a 50% overcharge. Like MSRP back in my day was 144, and everything was available sub 100. Everything was available sub 100. Boxes will be available sub 100 again. I'm as confident as I can be in that. I cannot guarantee it, but anyways, now Retro, when you say that, I would lean towards, like, I think it's a toss up, 50-50. 50-50. D-Chev, I'm actually not like, I like her original music. I nostalgic to me back in high school. I had a couple of the CDs and popping them in my car. But I like a lot of different music. I'm not like a major Swiftie, and I'm not actually gonna go to a Taylor Swift concert anytime soon. But anyways, personally, I would say coin flip. Personally, I would lean. I would say 40% chance Surging does go. So less than a coin flip that it does go sub MSRP, and a 60% chance that it doesn't. So I think it's more likely than not that it won't go sub MSRP. But that's a guess. That's a guess. That's my talk. What's my walk? I have 4 cases on the pallet, and I have a couple thousand packs for the live streams. That's where I'm at. I think there's a lot of people that are getting their gambling fix, and they're not really collectors. What do you think? Absolutely. I think some percentage of the consumer base in Pokemon is just gambling. They're using it to get their fix on gambling, and it's scratching the itch that maybe they used to do with blackjack, or they used to do with this or that, and they're not true collectors. They're not really, but like, how do you define it? If they, my argument would be, like, if they're choosing to gamble through Pokemon, they're more of a collector than if they were doing it at a blackjack table, at a poker table, on scratch offs. So it's like they're choosing to do it in this space. They care about it to some extent, right? Why are they doing it here and not sports? Why are they doing it here and not? I kind of get what you're saying, but I give that pushback too. I wish I would have lived by that. Just wait, you don't have to have it right now. Credence in 2020. A lot of people that bought $200 Vivid agree. A lot of people that bought $150 Battle Styles agree. A lot of people that bought $100 plus Shining Fates ETBs agree. Evolutions is crazy what it did. I'm just to the point now where G1T Landed had gifted 20 subs. I appreciate that again. I am so far behind in chat. Will we get to $100, $600 booster box, booster case again? Yes, I am 90+% sure that we will get there again. Oh, here we go. Devin King. Surging Sparks reprint incoming and it's large. Poker is not gambling. Devin, do you work from Millennium? Devin with a winky face. Devin, if we have a Millennium Print Group employee in here, let us know. Let us know what's running across the printers. That is very valuable information. I understand what he's saying. So, bargain. Oh God, I almost read the whole. I think the username is intended to sound like you're saying something else, but poker is not played against the house, in that if you're good at poker, there is like a rake out of the pot, the house takes out of the pot, but you can take money from other people. If you're very skilled at poker, you're actually not like mathematically guaranteed to lose over a long term, like blackjack, like Keno, like slots, like all those other things. So I know what you're saying, Devin, by saying poker's not gambling, but also I understand that it's kind of gambling too. It's not gambling mathematically guaranteed to lose over the long run against the house, because you can be good and skilled and you can win over the long run with it. But yeah, the reprint that you're talking about, Devin, I got 2 booster cases. I got 432 packs of Surging Sparks. And let me look at my live stream sheet. So I got 432 packs of Surging Sparks. This year we sold 4,224 packs. They gave me 10% of what I sold this year so far. Last week we sold 180 Surging Sparks. So I've already burned through half of my reprint allocation. Distro had it. I don't think they actively have it, but we'll see what happens. Most people sitting at a poker table are gambling. I don't play poker personally, except for with friends from time to time. I played some and I lost some money down in Fort Lauderdale. But the last 2 times I played poker, Fort Lauderdale and I think Orlando the year before that at Collecticon. Amongst friends, no house take. But anyways, that's let me get back to the questions that I'm an hour behind on. This is where Retro and I made the bet. I like the back and forth. I like the disagreement, but Retro, I listened to Cardboard Hands recently. Again, shout out _retrospecs on Instagram. Shout out his YouTube, Macro Mondays. Retro, you got to bring back that Macro Monday. I still haven't watched the Monday one. But what was I gonna say? When you said in Cardboard Hands that you are quite confident that boxes will never go under 100 again, I don't agree. I could be wrong there too. I might lose the bet to you on Destined. I might be wrong in that boxes might never. But the thing that blows my mind, the thing that absolutely blows my mind is that 6 months ago, there were boxes under $100. A year ago, there were boxes under $100. It's only been 6 months or so that boxes have not been under $100. And always in the 28, 29, 30 year history of Pokemon cards, boxes have been available under 100. I fell into the trap before of saying, and I agree, when MSRP went up, there was a window there where I generally agreed with the sentiment that boxes under 100 would be done. But forever is a long time. 6 months is a short time. This too shall pass. It's not different. I can't G-word it, but I am as confident as possible. I'm as confident as possible that there will be boxes, maybe not 6 weeks from now, maybe not 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 20 years from now. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Retro, you can, so yeah, Retro did Macro Monday, and then he had to pull it because he showed private information. You can blur it out, or you can go in and you can just cut. You can just cut out a minute if you have to. So yeah, Retro, go in, edit it. Once you edit it, don't immediately post it because it takes like a few hours for the edits to process. So edit it tonight and then post it tomorrow when you wake up or the next whenever. But yeah, we need our Macro Mondays. Come on, feed us the content. And I'm not necessarily saying, and maybe some people, maybe there's a disconnect. Maybe some people think I'm saying Scarlet Violet boxes will be sub 100. Maybe they won't. I could get more in line with Scarlet Violet boxes never going under 100 again than I could get with no boxes ever going 100 again. They're two distinctly different things. For someone to say today, with a 30-year history behind us, where 29 years of it, there's been boxes available under $100, and there's only been a 6-month window where boxes are not available under $100. For people to say that, yeah, 29 out of the 30 years, boxes have been available under 100, but 6 months they haven't been. Forever from now, forever, they will never be. That's crazy to me. That's actually insane. I am 99% confident there will be. Will it be SV1? Will it be SV9? Maybe not. I'm more open to that. But will it be whatever our next block is called? The next block after that? Some point. And obviously inflation is working against us. And maybe tariffs, inflation. Maybe we go through some massive inflation. Maybe MSRP goes up to 180. And then it never goes under 100 again. Box never goes under 100. There are ways that it could happen. I just don't think it's going to happen, personally. Oh, Retro said it's a 15-minute chunk. You can blur. I mean, you can blur. I'm very like biased. I want to listen to the content, but slide into my DMs with that unlisted link so I can listen to it. I would blur it, and I don't watch anyways. I listen. A lot of people probably listen. That's the route that I'd go. But I'm selfish and I wanna consume that content. Retro, I deserve it. Come on. Don't hide that stuff from me. Put it behind a paywall. I'll pay $5 for your paywall to watch it. Let's see. No, and I'm not like, you placed your bet, I placed mine, you made your theory, your statement, and you had your reasons for it. I made my theory and I have my reasons for it. So let me continue working through my backlog because I have a big backlog. Not as bad as PSAs, but it's pretty bad. FOMO into Sword Shield or focus on SV and wait a few years. Don't FOMO into anything. If you have the money, if you have the ability, I would rather generally buy most Sword and Shield and or early Scarlet Violet than newer Scarlet Violet, especially. I'm not substantially buying any of them though. I generally have most of what I want set back, and I'm buying packs to resell generally. Do you see any sets right now that would become the new Vivid Voltage or Shining Fates? I think it could be Surging. I think it could be Surging. I think it could be Destined. I think it could be Journey. I don't know entirely, but I was just talking earlier about Shining Fates, Vivid Voltage, Battle Styles. I think there will be sets in this current time that become those. Which one will it be? I don't know. Could it become all of them? Yes. Which is a better buy for investment? Oh, I think I took so long to answer that you asked it again, but as I said earlier, I would pick a Lost Origin booster box. I have Lost Origin booster boxes. I do not have prismatic PC ETBs. So talk versus walk. Practicing patience is critical now more than ever. Yeah, not just in Pokemon, in your real life too. There's a very high impatience tax. There's a very high FOMO tax. And we're all adults here. We all can spend the money how we see fit. But generally speaking, you will be rewarded for being patient in and out of the Pokemon hobby. Kevin says, I don't know why people like Scarlet and Violent. Scarlet and Violent, I still don't. I like a lot of it. The hats aren't my favorite thing, but I can get over it. I think there's a lot of cool sets in Scarlet Violet. I think there's a lot of cool sets sprinkled throughout the entire 30-year history of Pokemon. Something Wong says, long-term holds, I pay $120 max a box. I think that's entirely reasonable to just have, like, I'm not going to pay more than this. And maybe you'll miss on, you could have pre-ordered and maybe you did Surging. You couldn't have gotten Journey. You couldn't have gotten Destined. Unless you had like a hookup through somebody you've been buying for a long time. But if you stick by your guns on that, I think you'll do a lot better than a lot of people FOMOing in and buying Journey at 250 and buying Destined at 300, 270. That's my thought though. This was asked again twice too because I'm taking so long to answer, but I said yes. Team Rocket Joey says, I get demonized for saying exactly what you just said over the last 10 minutes. I don't know. I apologize. This was said at 9:44. It is now 10:35. I did the bad thing where I didn't catch your comment live, and I don't know what you're referencing. So I apologize for that. But I will try to do better. Which is a better bot? Oh, Pokedo asking 3 times because I'm so slow. You know about the rumors with new print lines coming out next year for Pokemon? Won't this make investing a little harder? I've heard some people saying things about Pokemon bringing up new print capacity. I don't know that that's true. I've heard that. Like, it's hearsay to me. I've gotten that. Tertiary. I've gotten it way down the line. I just don't know that that's true. But if they print more, I think they will. Given the current situation, I think all you can do is print more. So they printed 12 billion last year. They printed 9 billion the year before that. I think they're going to have, like, when in June, when the print data comes, I think they will have printed 14 billion, 15 billion cards. And I think next year they'll print more than that if things keep going the way they're going. Does that mean you can't make money? Does that mean things won't go up? No. Like, they could print more next year and more next year and more next year, and things could continue going up if the hobby keeps growing. I got in XY, and a lot of people in XY said, this isn't investable. They're printing way more than they printed during Black and White. It'll never go up. And then Sun and Moon, this isn't investable. They're printing way more than they printed during XY. This will never go up, or it'll never go up reasonably. It'll never be a good investment. And then during Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield is being printed way too much. It's not going to go up like Sun and Moon did. And then during Scarlet and Violet, 6 months ago, a year ago, Scarlet and Violet's never going to go up. They printed way too much of it. Buy Sword and Shield. It's always continued going up. That doesn't mean it's going to forever. At some point, I think the bears, which I've been called a bear, I don't know why or how, but from time to time I get called bearish, and I think eventually they'll be right. But you've got those people out there that have called 50. Sorry, they've called 50 of the last 5 recessions, right? They're constantly calling for it. Eventually they're right. It's like, oh yeah, well it went down 40% after it tripled. So it's like, were you really right? I'm bullish on cardboard long term, but like short term, $270 release sets, I'm not bullish on that. I'm not bullish on Journey Together at 200. I'm not bullish on Surging Sparks at 200, whatever it is. I'm bullish generally on buying sub 120, sub 100 booster boxes and letting them age for years. And I failed to let them age for years in many instances because they've gone up way quicker than I expected, and I sold them sooner than I planned. Yeah, a lot of people that have gotten in the past 6 months, they don't know. Like I just said earlier, 29 of the 30-year history, everything was available at one point or another, not only for sub MSRP. Like Retro and I are going back and forth on if Destined will be available sub MSRP. Every set has been available for under 100, for 70% of MSRP. Like, what are we talking about here? Every set. I actually have a historical booster box price sheet that I share on my Patreon, and I'm looking at it right now. From 1999 to current, you could buy every set at one point or another. Legendary Collection, 4 years after it came out, $99. EX Team Rocket Returns, 5-6 years after it came out, $80. Delta Species, 6 years after it came out, $99. Mysterious Treasures, Diamond and Pearl Enjoyers, 5 years after it came out, $88. And I know 2007, 2010, blah, blah, blah. It was dead. Nobody, social media, all those things. I understand and I agree. The world is different. The world's not different than a year ago. A year ago, like I timestamped some prices in 2023 and in 2024. Everything was available under 100. Like I don't know when I timestamped it. I just timestamped it for 2024. But Scarlet Violet was 86. Pallet Evolve was 105 at the time. Obsidian Flames was 101. Temporal Forces was 102. And Paradox Rift was 91. Those were all what they were like on TCG Player. You could definitely find a deal. If it's 105, if I pulled 105 price, you could have gotten it for $99.99. Every box was available for not only sub MSRP, but sub 100. Let me scroll down. Ernesto's locked in. What's up? How's it going, Ernesto? He's probably very out by now, 35 minutes later. Driver Pedals says ZNG. Are you calling me ZNG? I feel like this happened last live stream too. I am Catch 'em All Collectible. ZNG does eBay consignment, but my consignments. You're asking how it works out. I hate buyer's premium. Buyer's premium is the bane of my existence. But the way that it works, if you sell through me a card that goes for $2,000 hammer price, if your card sells for $2,000 hammer's price, the buyer pays $2,400 because 2,000 times 1.2 is the total sale price. I pay out 95% based on 2,400, not on 2,000. I'm not like taking the entire buyer's premium from you. You're getting $2,280 on a $2,400 sale. You're getting 95% of the payout of what the buyer paid. No hidden fees, no nothing there. So you're getting you're getting these percentages for these sale prices of the total sale price with buyer's premium. That's the way the consignment works. Feel free to email, DM, reach out if you're interested in consigning. Continuing on. So will PSA grade a card faster for an eBay or GameStop submission? I don't know. I've heard different things. First in, F off. They don't go in, first out. First in, F off. I did not get any PC ETBs today, but I saw that they dropped. Do you think Paldea Evolved or Destined Rivals booster boxes will be worth more in 1 month? 1 month is a more interesting question. Do I think they'll be worth, which one do I think will be worth more in 1 month? Let me double check what Paldea Evolved is. I think, as wild as this is to say, for somebody who says like things can go down, and I think Destined will be available under MSRP eventually, but I think it might be short term. I think it'll be more of a surging than a journey. I think the first month or two of Destined could be more like surging, in that with Journey being 200 or 220, I think Destined should be higher than 270. It's a wild thing to say because I think it's way higher than it should be. But like, I think Journey should be a lot cheaper. I think Destined should be a lot cheaper. But since Journey's holding at what it's holding at, since surging is what it is, I think there's a decent shot that in the first month, I think Destined might creep up to 300. It could also creep down to 200. It could also do a lot of different things. But if I have to pick something, I'm going to say Destined Rivals. I think it's going to be 300 a month after release. I think it's going to go up before it goes down a bunch on reprints. And I'm not, if Destined Rivals comes out at 270, goes up to 300, and goes down to 150, I'm not going to call that a crash. That's not a crash. That's a brand new set being stocked on the shelves at MSRP-ish. That's just like a new product coming out. Like when a PS3 or a PS4 or a PS5 comes out and say MSRP is 500, when a PS5 is $1,000, it doesn't crash down to 500. It becomes available at MSRP because the insanity wanes. The supply catches up with the demand, the insanity subsides, and then it's just there. It's there at the price it should be, right? I know it's dangerous to say what things should or shouldn't be, but yeah, that's my take. That's my take. I'm continuing to catch up. Let me keep going here. Let me look. I don't think there's anything super relevant about what I'm saying right now in the live chat, so I'm going to continue back in the old chat. Bitcoin's almost near 100K again. It's funny because like I've talked with some people in the space, some people out of the space privately, and it's like, oh Dan, you're crazy. Why didn't you sell a little bit of your Bitcoin when it was 110? I knew I knew it was going to go down from there. Like, well, how much money did you put into shorting it? How much money did you make off knowing that? There are instruments out there, I believe. There's ETFs for Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure you could short Bitcoin if you wanted to. I would not recommend it. I would not recommend playing with those kinds of tools for most people. But the confidence is always funny because like some amount of those people are like, Dan, you're crazy. Why didn't you sell Bitcoin when it was over 100? Well, because I don't know what the hell it's going to do. It could be 200K today. It could be 50K today. It just so happens to be $98,757.57. Where's it going to be in a week? I have no effing clue. It'll go up 10%. It'll go down 10%. And a lot of people that don't own any of it, that aren't doing anything with it, will say, oh, well, that was obvious. I knew it was going to do that. No, you didn't. Nobody knows. And I'm not ranting at you, Fat Belly. I'm just using your comment to rant on something that's grinding my gears currently because it's crazy. It's all crazy out here, and I don't know what's gonna do. I don't know what any of it's gonna do. I have my thoughts. Some are guided by experience. Some are guided by, but like in Bitcoin, there's only like I've owned it for years, but I'm not experienced. I have no freaking clue what it's gonna do in a couple years. Couple days, couple months, any time frame. I'm more confident in what the S&P 500 is going to do over a 30-year time frame, but I could be wrong there too. I'm more tied to that. I'm more like confident in that. My opinion, but Crown Zenith is best set of Sword and Shield, and if all these other sets keep running up, Crown Zenith gonna be 15 by the end of the year. What do I think? Well, I said in January that it wasn't gonna be 10 by the end of the year. So am I gonna say now it's gonna be 15? I'm gonna say it could be. It could be 15. It could be, hell, it could be 20 by the end of the year. Bull case, Crown Zenith could be 20 or 25 by the end of the year. Do I think it will be? No. Do I think it could be 15? Absolutely could be. Will it? I would lean towards no, but I'm gonna get picked on again when it becomes 15 in like August. I'm gonna get bullied again. Like I'm getting bullied now for it being 10. I don't know. Has the MetaZoo case breaks produced a poncho box yet? No, we've broken into 3 cases. There are approximately 1 in 10 cases, as far as I understand, and we're over 3 currently. Over 3, unfortunately. Rudy's little, yeah, I watched Rudy's video too, where he was talking about the alternative acronyms for MSRP. Surging is vivid and prismatic is shining fates all over again. They will catch up. I think that's a reasonable take. I truly think prismatic, if you're investing in prismatic, and I bought 5,000 packs of prismatic last week at $11 a pack. I spent $55,000 on prismatic evolutions last week because we're selling 1,000 packs a week. That's 5 weeks worth of inventory. That's not much. And I knew they restocked. I got restocked a little bit. Other people got restocked a little bit. So I figured like, hey, now's a good time to try to buy a bunch for the next month and a half, 2 months. But I spent 50 grand on prismatic in a time where in the next year, I think prismatic's going to drop 50%. I think I'll be buying it for $5 or $6 a pack in a year. And I just spent 50 grand on it because I need it for live streams. So it's like talk versus walk. It's all these different things. It's like, I'm just one guy doing my best out here, trying to make money in the hobby, trying to run a business in the hobby. I'm not going to do everything right. But, and Retro's going to say, yes, Shining Fates had 1 chase card. Prismatic has, God packs, and it has demigod packs, and it has all the evolutions. And yes, it's a better set in many ways. But, I think the price action of prismatic could mimic. I'm not saying it's exactly Shining Fates 2.0 and it's the same thing in every way. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it could be. I'm saying it could have similar-ish price action. Will it go as low? Will it stay as low as long? I don't know. But it could. It could. Surging could be Vivid Voltage 2.0. Yes. It has way more hits. It's way better in all these different ways. I agree. But it could mimic the price action. And maybe it's not 3 years under MSRP. Maybe it's only 3 months. Maybe it's only 3 days under MSRP. But I truly think Surging could go under MSRP again in the next year and a half, 2 years. Because it's a brand new set. 5 months old. Those are my takes. My mouth is exactly where it is, saying what it is. My money is exactly, I will tell you where all my money is. Ask me. Like, it's all I can do. All I can do is be transparent. I'm not trying to pump anything. I'm not trying to tell people what to buy. I'm telling people what I'm buying and selling, why I'm doing that. And I'm hoping to make the best choices with my money. So yeah, that's what this channel is. Poker is a sport. That's why it's on ESPN. Playing with friends is always the best. Mason saying, I'll lose the bet, but I'll win in business. That is what I always say. It's like, I'll take a bet that XYZ won't happen. Like, if I lose the bet, I still win in business. Mason poking at me for what I always say in those instances. So I'm 20 minutes behind chat right now. I'm catching up quickly. If you guys have questions, the stop sign emoji makes it easier. I will get to every question. I know some people asked their question 3 times because I took so long to get to them, but I promise you, I will get to them, especially if you use a stop sign emoji. But once I catch up, I will end the live stream. I plan on ending by 11 to 11:30 p.m. Eastern. I don't plan to go past 11:30. So if and when we are like 10 minutes, within 10 minutes of 11:30, I will I'll really pick up the pace. But this is my standard pace. But yeah, Retro, if you don't bring up Macro Mondays, DM me that link. There's too many crazy outside variables right now. The economy is in the Wild West right now. Yes, there's a lot of uncertainty in the broad markets for sure. Fetch them all MZ promos to the moon. I've finished my buybacks. If anybody has some like last minute one, if they were under a rock, if they fell asleep, I'm running deep on them right now. But I've terminated the buyback program. I just didn't want that there with New Zoo, with all that going on, being a part owner of the company that licenses that. I didn't want that there. Oh, I've done that before too, Retro. I've misedited. So you can blur again. You get to go again. You can I remember one time I blurred me doxing myself, and I missed with my blur, and then I went back in and I blurred it again even bigger. So you don't have to do it, obviously, but he said it's privated. He'll send to verified homies. You said recently that you're really trying to ramp up the CGC grading submissions, and also that you haven't been buying from TCG lately. Just curious where you are mainly sourcing such high volume. I have a lot of cards, so I largely got rid of a lot of my backlog through Troll and Toad Evo years ago. I got rid of a lot more through the live streamers, but I still have a fair bit, and I'm still buying regularly. I'm not buying onesie twosies through TCG Player that much anymore. I still have done it from time to time, but I'm buying large collections all the time. All the time, I'm getting emails. I'm getting offered different collections, some Japanese, some English, some modern, some vintage, some mid-era, all different kinds of stuff. Every so often, I'll open up a box. I'll open up a tote. And one of my recent grading submissions I did to CGC, you can only send in batches of 100. My whole CGC Fanatics thing. So I'm going to do a little bit of a promo 2 hours into a live stream for anyone that's interested. If you are interested, I can take your raw cards for $7.50 a card. You can have them CGC graded. They have to be sold on Fanatics. They have to be sold within 4 weeks on Fanatics. Minimum 50 cards, maximum 100 cards. And I recently just sent 200 plus, so a couple different submissions, 200 plus Neo Destiny first edition non-hollows, commons and uncommons, and I got a lot of pristines. I did really well. But so coming soon, coming to a Fanatics auction block near you. A lot of vintage random box that I was going through. It's like, oh yeah, back when I opened my Neo Destiny first edition box, let me see if I can find it. Back when I opened my Neo Destiny first edition booster box that I opened, back when I opened that bad boy, I had a random box kicking around of all the non-hollows, and I just sent those to CGC, and I still have, like, most of this would not be worth grading, but I still have most of the pack fresh stuff that from EX Hidden Legends and EX Delta Species. And this is my, I hope this doesn't have my address anywhere on it, but it's not on screen anyways. This is my big box of all the empty boxes that I opened years and years ago. Every set, at some point I need to sell these because like I'm not doing anything with them. They're just sitting in a big box near me. But at some point I need to sell those on because there's too much money tied up right there. Dan, how is there so much money in Pokemon when the average American can't afford a $500 emergency? There's a lot of money out there. How many millionaires are there in the United States? Then when you go globally, how many more millions of millionaires are there? A lot of people have credit cards. And I know I saw Retro when it was live. That's not a real stat, Pokemage. That's an internet circulated, frequently regurgitated fallacy. I don't know too in depth the legitimacy of that stat, but I personally know a lot of people in my real life world are like kind of struggling. A lot of people are paycheck to paycheck. I know a lot of people, friends, family, and I've had this conversation with people before. It's kind of weird to go to a barbecue, to go to my fantasy football draft and have people talking about egg prices and gas prices and this and that. And it's like, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking how I just bought 55 grand in Prismatic Evolutions packs that are going to be sold on a live stream for $65,000, $70,000 left and right. Thousands of dollars a day, thousands of dollars a night are going to be sold. And I don't relate financially to a lot of people's conversations they have around it. And it again, I don't know what the number is, but there's a lot of people. Maybe it's not 50%, maybe it's not whatever. There's a lot of people that can't afford a $500 emergency, but simultaneously, there's a lot of people that will hop into a live stream. PK is live right now. PK went live at like 8:30. It's 11 right now. He's been live for 2.5 hours, and he sold $2,500 in Pokemon cards. He's selling $1,000 an hour in Pokemon cards. So there's a lot of people kind of struggling. There's some percentage of those people struggling are buying Pokemon cards, and I hope it's not a high percentage. I hope the majority of my consumers are people who can afford it and are being responsible with their money. But I can't control it. And yeah, the market is the market. Adults are adults and they're going to do what they will with their money. And I say my thoughts. I say these thoughts openly on my YouTube channel of the same name as my live stream operation, which for business, it's bad and it's dumb. If I was smarter, this YouTube channel would be called something else. I wouldn't form a big connection between my brand here and my brand there, because my brand here is talking about like spend within your means, fill your buckets, save for retirement, don't speculate, gamble with money you can't afford to lose. And that's very poor salesmanship for my live stream operation. Like I've had consigners reach out to me. Like I do the Fanatics consignments. I've had consigners reach out to me and say, Dan, like, I love you and everything. Like I trust you. I want to consign with you. But like you talk very counter. Like I say short plastic, long cardboard. I talk against a lot of this stuff in many different ways. And I'm going to just talk openly and honestly about what I think. And I'm going to be wrong on certain things. Like I've been too bearish. I've been not bullish enough in the 11 years I've been in the hobby, generally speaking. But yeah, that's what this channel is. I share my thoughts, I share my actions, and take from it what you will. Don't take it as gospel. Don't follow me blindly. Dan, did you do the video on using AI to make spreadsheets? I've done a couple of videos talking about using ChatGPT to help me in my business. I don't think I've done the one you're talking about that I talked about potentially doing, but I'm sure I'll do more spreadsheet videos in the future. I'm going to be doing some things ChatGPT is better with, faster than me with spreadsheets, but sometimes I go in there, pivot tables, all that stuff, I'm quicker. So I don't use it for everything. I think some people are like everything, there's nuance, right? Some people are way overly reliant on, they use ChatGPT for everything, and they get like weird, they take it way too far, just everything blindly, faith in ChatGPT. And then some people aren't using AI at all in their businesses, and I think they're missing out too. So I think there's a happy medium somewhere, and I'm probably not doing it optimally either. But just my commentary as always. The one thing I heard was the EU stuff was going to be printed more actually in EU, freeing up more capacity for US English. That feels plausible. If tariffs become a real thing longer term, that feels entirely plausible. But I don't have any firsthand information for that. It feels just like there's logic there. There's reason to follow. Hey, if exporting, which that would apply anyways, wouldn't it? Wouldn't because EU has had import taxes on US goods forever. So why wouldn't they have already moved more production overseas? That's a hole that I'm poking in a little bit, thinking, logicking through it. Newest set equals best set, right? Yes. Me being a better salesman, next set, best set, newest set, best set of all time, always. What about battle styles? Maybe I should buy them out. Thoughts? I buy very little. I buy very little, if anything, at 100% of market. I buy most at 70 to 90% of market, depending on what it is. So I cannot tell anyone, I cannot advocate for anyone buy anything at 100%, let alone 110% of market. Devin King, are you paying sales tax on your purchases that are intended for resale, where you're trying to speculate, invest, flip, make money in the hobby? Please tell me no. Please tell me no. How many celebrations UPCs are you sitting on? One. I think that is my only one. There could be one hiding somewhere, but I'm fairly certain that that is my only one. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure that one's sealed. I think that's my only one though. The one back there. Could TPCI create a product that would cater to streamers, mass rippers that wouldn't appeal to investor scalpers? I wish, like, the boxes don't look amazing. I think the boxes already don't look amazing. Go back in time. Some of the boxes looked amazing. Some of the boxes looked really good. Generally speaking, I think Japanese does it better than English, but English boxes already don't look amazing. English cases really are nothing to look at, but I think they're doing a decent job. Like booster boxes, booster cases are the product for live streams. But they just get this premium. I think they reprints are so often done through booster bundles, and they're so often done, like, please Pokemon, just print more booster boxes. Booster boxes are the most efficient method for injecting packs into the market. Like, maybe make it uglier. Make it uglier. Nick and I, old school Pokemon and I, on a Pokeflips one time, we were talking, I was kind of memeing about it, but there's a packaging item it's called like a Gaylord. It's like the size of a pallet, and it's a huge box basically. You could make it out of you can actually get like you can get one of those that's like a canvas bag that you throw a bunch of trash into, and then rubbish removal comes and picks it up and takes it away. Like, give me one of those filled with 20,000 booster packs. Give me 21,600 booster packs. Give me 100 cases, 600 booster boxes worth of loose packs. Like, it's too much. It's too much for the consumer. You can't display it on a shelf behind you in a video. It looks like trash. Make the box, make the packaging ugly as hell. But literally, sell me 20,000 packs. Allocate me 20,000 packs in one thing. Deliver that to me. I will break it up to the live streamers, and we will go from there. Like save your cardboard, save the other layer of cardboard, inject packs into my veins, so that we can inject them into the live stream consumers' veins. That's what we need. That would be good. That would be a good delivery mechanism to get more packs quicker. Like don't have people on an assembly line. Like, as far as I understand, they physically pack elite trainer boxes. That blows my mind. They print 13 billion cards in a year, and they have people on an assembly line physically putting packs into things. Chuck them off the end of the conveyor belt into a big mixed frazzled package, and then ship them off to me. I don't care. Like, that's what I want. Investors won't want it. Collectors won't want it. Live streamers will feast off it. Please Pokemon, do that. What does Prismatic do over this month though? Let me pull up Prismatic Evolutions. It dipped on the reprint. It was relatively substantial. My initial allocation of Prismatic ETVs was hundreds. my reprint was like 40, so it was like 20-25% of what I got originally. That's estimations, I don't remember off the top of my head, but it already went down. Let me look it up. Prismatic Evolutions Elite Trainer boxes, market price 116, it says. TCG Player is terrible. Open box, no promo, no packs. I hate these listings. A whole page of listings just clouding it up. The first listing is 115.92. A month ago, it looks like they were 140. So they've come down, but it looks like they're kind of bottoming. If no more keep coming, feels like they're gonna kind of bottom at 110, 120, and then go up from there. But long enough timeline, give it 12 months, give it 18 months, give it 24 months. I think it'll be widely available under MSRP, under maybe not the ETB, maybe not this, that, maybe one random box, maybe only one certain random type of box. Those are my thoughts. Who was the guy in chat saying everyone was going to go broke buying the dip after the tariffs were announced? Yikes. I don't remember. It's very, like, talk is cheap. People will come in, they'll run their mouths. If and when what they say is proven to be horribly wrong, they'll do a name change. They'll quit using that account, or they just won't care. People will forget. I've already forgotten. I don't remember. Yeah, I put, so I mentioned this before, but every year I max out all my buckets, $70,000+, 401ks, IRAs, all that stuff. I put in this year, I used to do it in January. I did it in 2021, 2, 3, and 4. I did it in January. In 2025, I didn't, because last year I bought into MetaZoo and it was a lot of money and I just wanted to keep the liquidity. But during that day, I timed it really well. I literally bought, like, I didn't get it at the very bottom, but let me double check what the S&P 500 bottomed at. The day that mine went through, so the bottom was like 49.82. I want to say I got in at like 50.62 maybe. I got in really close, and I put in like 35 grand. So that 35 grand, 30 or 40, somewhere between 30 and 40. I forget exactly. I think it was 35 grand. I'm up 10%. I've made $3,000 to $4,000 on that 35 grand. Could it go down from here? Could it go lower? Absolutely. Could it go 30% lower? Could that 35 grand turn into 20, 25 grand? Absolutely. And I'm ready for that. I'm not selling that though for the next 20, 30 years plus. That is my investments. That is my long-term tax sheltered holds. Let's see. I just jumped to the bottom, but I'm catching up. Just got my resale cert. Did you track all buy sells to get tax refunds from the state? How do you do it? Since I've been buying with intent to resell, I've been sales tax exempt. I've not paid sales taxes that I needed to get back. Most states, so say you started buying and selling for resale in January, and then you listened to a Catch 'em All Collectibles live stream, and he got your head out of your butt, and he told you, go get a sales tax exemption. Certain states, you might be able to go back and claw back. Like, say you spent 10 grand between January and now. In New York, you would have spent $1,000 that you shouldn't have spent on sales taxes. Most states, and I believe New York is included in this, though I've never done it, I believe there's a mechanism to claim back that $1,000. Consult with a local professional, your state, your jurisdiction, blah, 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 all those things. But please, if you are flipping, investing, scalping, if you are buying with intent to resell, if you are a business, do not pay sales tax on items intended for resale. What are we doing? How do I reach these kids? I was talking about this earlier. Shout out to the Pokenomics Patreon. If anyone's interested in more Dan content, every Wednesday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern, I am in what I call office hours. Jake has office hours too, Pokenomics Jake, on Fridays. I believe it's 4 to 5 on Fridays. Just earlier today, I said that TCG Player sale is largely a trap. If you look, and maybe I should make a video on this. Let me put it in my video folder. I don't know if I'll ever get to it. But TCG Player sales are a trap. TCG Player, I think it's like a Star Trek thing, but I see that alien looking dude. It's a trap. I'm familiar with the GIF, familiar with the meme, but not familiar with its source. TCG Player sale, it's a trap. I might make that video. But back on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whenever it was, if you look at TCG Player a week before a sale to a week after a sale, it happens almost every time. So there'll be a 10% off sale on all sealed or all this, all that. Usually the people buying a week before the sale are paying a lower price than the people buying the day of the sale. Especially if you're looking at Fusion Strike right now, if you buy Fusion Strike today, I can't guarantee it, but if you buy Fusion Strike today versus Fusion Strike on, is it May 16th or May 17th? You are almost certainly going to pay a cheaper price buying Fusion Strike right now. But some people will fall into the trap. They go to Kohl's and oh my God, those shoes, that shirt, that bag, that coat, 70% off? What are we talking about here? They go and they go to Kohl's and they spend $100, but they don't say what they spent. They look at the bottom of the receipt. What good marketing? The bottom of the receipt says you spent $100 in the finest print possible. You saved $200. Like, hey guys, I just went to Kohl's. I got all these new cool clothes. Maybe Kohl's is I'm not the fashion guy. Kohl's is probably a terrible place to buy your clothes if I buy some amount of clothes there. And I don't even know where I buy clothes. My wife buys them for me. I don't have many new clothes. But or I buy from Pokemon Center. But anyways, people will just go on TCG Player blindly the day of the sale. Oh my God, 10% off? Yes, please. I just saved $100. Well, you spent $1,000. You spent $1,000 today on crap you could have bought for $900 last week. You spent $2,000 today on stuff you could have bought 2 weeks ago for $1,750. Like, what are we talking about? You saved 10% over an inflated price. Like, Kohl's is the one that I know, like every time, and I haven't set foot in a Kohl's in years probably, but they're one of those ones that there's a lot of stores that like everything's always on sale. Like they're always going out of business. Everything's always 60, 70, 80% off. It's just marketing. It's just a strategy, and people fall for it. I have friends, I have family. You go over for the barbecue and you hear somebody talking to somebody about, I just saved $200. Like, well, what did you spend? What did you spend? I just, Discord, Instagram, there's going to be people talking about, I just saved $500 today on TCG Player. Well, I know it's a 10% sale. You just spent $5,000 on stuff that you probably could have bought for cheaper than that 2 weeks ago. Because some amount of people, some amount of sellers on TCG Player will just raise their prices by 10%. They'll raise their prices by 5%. Be careful. Be careful out there. That is one of the oldest tricks in the book. I'm gatekeeping discounts now. It's one of the oldest tricks in the book. Just be careful. Like, be a savvy consumer. If you are eyeballing certain products, look at what they are today. Look at what they are next week. Look at what they are the day of the sale. There's a decent shot that certain items, not all of them, there will be people spending thousands on things they were gonna buy anyways. And like, the way you should use a sale, the way you should use a coupon is buying things you would have bought anyways. Like, look, if you're a collector and you have to have that certain box, you're gonna buy it anyways, you might as well buy it at 90% instead of 100%. I agree. But be careful that 90% is actually 90%, and 90% isn't just 110% marked up and then drop down by 10%. I guess mathematically, 100% times 1.1 goes to 110 minus, or times 0.9, you're saving 1%. You think you're saving 10%, but you're saving 1% if somebody jacks up prices 10%. So, just some interesting, to me at least, rants and rambles from an old balding man who's been in the space for a while. And that is not just Pokemon. That applies everywhere. That applies whether you're at Kohl's. That applies wherever you're at. Be mindful of sales and what's actually going on there. Because going back to my rant and my ramble, a video I should have made, there were certain boxes that the first buyer on the day of the sale bought at $500, and the last buyer bought at $600, and a week prior the price was $450. I saw it on multiple items last time around. So maybe if I were a good YouTuber, I would make a preemptive video this coming Monday. Instead of talking about my pallet, I would say, hey guys, TCG Player is running a sale. Here's my affiliate link. Here's the 10 hottest boxes to buy. That's what I would do if I was a real YouTuber, but I'm not. So not only am I not going to do that, I'll rant 2 hours into a live stream, ranting about Kohl's, ranting about whatever. And then afterwards, I'll say, hey guys, if you if you bought a bunch of stuff, you might have gotten wrecked. And here's why, and here's how. And here's the data showing how you potentially got wrecked. Like, hey, March 7th, I'm gonna write right here. TCG player sale, it's a trap. May 7th live stream rants. I'm gonna timestamp. I'm gonna say, hey guys, 12 people bought a Fusion Strike box for a 10% discount. They think they got a great deal. Back on May 7th, I was ranting and rambling, and you could have bought it for this price. Someone bought it for this price. But you, silly old you, falling for how much I saved, you bought it for 25% higher. That maybe it won't be Fusion Strike, maybe it'll be some other box, maybe it'll be people are gonna fall for it. They do every time. Oldest trick in the book. One of the oldest tricks in the book. Some people collect Kohl's cash while we collect shiny cardboard, for sure. Let's see where we're at. And I hear people, that's the biggest thing that I say. I hear people saying like, hey, Dan, you're a dummy. You are so dumb. Back in January, you said Crown was 5 in January. You said there's almost no chance it's going to be 10 in January 2026. You're so freaking dumb. It's 10 now, dummy. And it's May. You were wrong. Well, you knew it was going to double. So congratulations. Like, you just doubled your net worth. You knew it was going to double in a year. So, like, you acted on that, right? Like, who's not going to take a double up? Oh, no, I only have 100 packs. I only have 1,000 packs. It's like, what are we talking about here? Why didn't you call up the bank? Why didn't you leverage your house? Why didn't you put on 5,001 short, 5,001 leverage on shorts in Bitcoin? I don't know if you can actually lever up that much. That would be wild. I don't think you could go 5,001. But like, if I was 10% as confident as some people sound, I would remortgage my house. I'm not going to remortgage my house anytime ever, because I don't have 10% of the confidence that people on YouTube who have almost none of the product claim to have. Talk versus walk. Talk is cheap. Talk is easy. It's so easy to go into a live stream and say, hey, XYZ is going to happen. And then if you're right, come back and say, hey, Dan, you're dumb. I was right. You were wrong. And then if you were wrong, don't come back. It's easy. It's easy. They're actually going back. I'm gonna age myself. I'm gonna date myself here. I'm 35. There used to be a scam on emails. There used to be a scam where they would get like 1 million emails and they would send out a thing like, hey, here's this stock pick. XYZ stock, it's going up. They'd pick some random BS penny stock. And they'd send out 1 million emails. 500,000 would say it's going up. 500,000 would say it's going down. Boom. 5,000 people, they're wrong. Don't email them again. 500,000 people? Well, you take them and you email a new prediction. Hey, this is going up. 250,000 get one email. 250,000 get another email. Boom. One was right, one was wrong. Ghost the people that you were wrong on. Now you got 250,000 people on down until you got like 10,000 people. Now you've got 10,000 people that heard you be right. Well, 500, 250, 125, 67.5, 38, whatever, 19, 10. Seven iterate. You've been right 7 times in a row. You started with 1 million people. You casted a wide net. You've got 1% of the people left, 10,000 people that watched you be right 10 times in a row. And you've got the data to prove it. You've got email timestamps. And then they'd take those people for a ride. That like Bernie Madoff-esque. That's the way some of those things worked. The way some of those scams worked is they casted a wide net. They started out big. They funneled it down. And then they had 10,000 people that they had a proven track record for. And be careful. Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. Money talks, BS walks. This is definitely increasing my confidence that you're a gracious loser. I'm saying that I'm wrong, but like, Retro, literally this is coming from you, the guy who just said 10 minutes ago, where's that guy who was saying XYZ about people are going to be, you literally just like agreed with me and now you're pushing back. It's like, let me continue on. But yes, if I had 10% of the confidence that people claim to have, I would remortgage my house. I don't know what the hell is going to happen. Nobody does. Some people think so, and I rather people think they do. Some people, there's all different kinds of spectrums. Some people think they know what's happening. Some people think they are savants, and they think they're going to be like, I rather those people who are ignorant but like believe in themselves and put some amount of money there. Some people are just malicious. Some people are like, these dummies will click my affiliate links. These dummies will buy whatever I tell them to. They don't give a crap. The worst kind of people buy stuff, hype it up, sell it into their consumers, sell it into their viewers. Like, some amount of that was probably going on with the Drowsy AR, with certain cards of that nature. Pumping, literal pumping and dumping. That's the worst case. Meme coins. Like, we live in a world, I'm not going to get political. We live in a world where very powerful, very public figures and people are literally pumping and dumping shit coins on people. Like, it is so widespread. It is so, like, accepted. No, Retro, I'm not pushing back. Oh, no, crap, I disconnected. It just said I disconnected and then reconnected. Retro, I'm not pushing back on you. I know that you said you were and were actually buying it. I'm like, you're saying that I'm not being a gracious loser, but then it's like what I was saying was actively proven true 10 minutes ago by the guy that was here saying that everyone buying into the market was going to get wrecked, and then he's not here now. There's a disconnect. There's a disconnect between what we're saying, I think. Continuing on. My lights are not red. I'm saying some red light-ish things. I need to reuse the. I'm not gonna do it now because I'm ending in 8 minutes. But I was close. We're not gonna turn the lights red. Remortgage your house, Dan. You're playing with house money anyways. Paid for by $1,000 EV and Pikachu's and Evolutions boxes. Think of all that liquidity if you didn't pay off the house. I have thought about it. I don't regret it for 1 second. I would have, if I didn't pay off my house and I put it all into Pokemon, I would have a lot more money. If I put it all into Bitcoin, I would have a lot more money. I could be a billionaire today if I only made some of the right moves. If I only had the same foresight as I have with hindsight. I don't lose a second of sleep. I'm not mad at myself. I don't regret it whatsoever. I would go back in time and I would pay off my house. It was the right call. Let's see. Missed question. Did I miss a question? GUNT landed. Oh, yeah. I'm scrolling back. Sorry. I almost didn't scroll back far enough, but I'm back there. I see it now. I got you, GUNT. Thank you. There are multiple people who intended on sending their MetaZoo promo back and they couldn't find it. What's the lowest you think PE/ETB goes? So I'm gonna say the lowest I think the ETB goes, random number. I think it's gonna go to 80. I think it will be restocked at some point. I think it will go to 80. I'm entirely open to being wrong there. I don't hold that closely. I think there's a 30 or 40% chance it never goes lower than it is today. But I think the odds are better that it goes somewhere around 80. I know. Hey, Dan, you said it's going to go to MSRP. That's above MSRP. I think there's a chance the ETBs will be above MSRP. And some random EV pouch, some random binder collection, some random poster collection, whatever, is more likely to go to MSRP on that set. I'm entirely open to being wrong, though. What's your biggest Pokemon investment currently? Don't have to share if too personal. And long term, what do you like more, 151 or Crown Zenith? At today's pricing, I like 151. 151 is still not even 2 years old. At today's pricing, I like Crown Zenith better. They're both around 10-ish. Crown is like 10, 151 is like 11. So I like Crown better, but not by much. I like 151 a lot. I think there's a solid chance in a couple of years they'll both be $20 packs, which is like a double for both. 151 is like they could push out more. It's less than 2 years old. They could push out more, but I'm not sure. My biggest Pokemon investment currently, biggest one single, probably Crown. I have I have over 10,000 packs of Crown. I have over $100,000 market value of Crown. I don't have $100,000 worth of anything else, I don't think. Single set, single case, single pack. So probably Crown is my biggest. Is it worth it to set up a business to not pay sales tax when I doubt I will ever make a profit? I rip packs, invest, and have sold some. I just want to have fun and I find investing fun. Not financial advice. Talk to an accountant, yada, yada, yada. If you are a business, if you are buying things with intent to resell, then by the IRS's definition, yes, like you should not be paying sales tax on items intended for resale. But if you're part collecting and this and it's more gray. You need to pay sales tax on items you're consuming personally. But inventory is much more advantageous than collection. With the tax exempt though, if you don't pay sales tax, you have to then sell it with sales tax, if that makes sense. A very small business owner would probably just get paid via Zelle, not through website. Well, getting paid through Zelle and not collecting sales tax in a state where you have physical nexus is not legal. That is evading sales tax. Unless you're in Oregon, unless you're in Delaware, unless you're in one of like the sales tax free states, that's a different consideration. Apparently the print facility in Durham, North Carolina prints the hits for EU and bulk comes from the Netherlands or something. I feel like I've heard that somewhere. Again, that is not primary information to me. I've heard that hearsay. With streaming taking a big portion of your business, would you say your personal time grading and flipping has decreased due to sourcing packs? Yes, I am spending less time grading and flipping than I have in the past, but I'm grading more than I've ever graded. In the past 1 month, aside from 1 or 2 select months during the boom, but I will grade more. I'll grade more in the next 3 months than I've graded over any 3-month period before. Maybe that changes. Maybe the market changes drastically, but I'm grading more on a regular basis. Aside from the 5,000-10,000 I just chucked the CGC PSA during the crazy times in the pandemic. But yeah. In West Virginia, they let me go back up to 3 years to claim sales tax redemption as long as my business was established when the purchase was made. So there's some more anecdotes for West Virginia. Then pick 5 products, mark the price today, and let's look at solds on the day of the sale. And let's see if you're right, because I don't agree with you for the most part. So Tom B, I'm going to pick 5 items right now I think will be cheaper today than on the sale with the sale. I'm going to be cheeky. I'm going to go Fusion Strike booster box. I'm going to go all booster boxes. All booster boxes I think will be cheaper today than on the 16th with a 10% discount. I could be wrong, but I'm going to say Silver Tempest. I'm going to say Brilliant Stars. I'm going to say Fusion. I'm going to say, let's just say Astral. I'm going to say, let's go Battle Styles. Let's do a fun one. I'm going to do Battle Styles. I think all these sets, Battle Styles is probably the one that I'm least liking there out of my picks. I just picked 5 random sets that I think will be cheaper to buy right now today, or ideally or hours earlier today, than on the day of the sale. We will see how it pans out. I will try to make a video and I will try to audit my prediction there. I'm going to timestamp it right now. 228.50 was my 228.50 timestamp live on 5-7. There we go. I will follow up. If I don't do a video, I'll talk about it in a live stream. So I will talk about it at one point or another. Retro's going to buy them right now to make sure that Brilliant isn't. I think there's, with Rudy saying they're going to be $1,000 boxes, with what's going on right now today, I think in the next week, a lot of Sword and Shield era booster boxes will be more than 10% up. So I think they're cheaper today than on the sale. I think a lot of people are waiting for the sale and they're going to spend more than they could today, but not financial advice, blah, blah, blah. The value of the security of having a home shouldn't be undervalued as well. That security probably allowed you to make riskier decisions than you would have made otherwise, like quitting my job. I would not have quit my job if I had debt of any kind, personally. So agreed. Hanzo says PEETB to $59.99. Maybe. Definitely some percentage chance. I wonder if the reprint for PE will be something like CZ, which absolutely tanked. CZ tanked. Sub MSRP. Way under MSRP. 151 tanked. Way under MSRP. Evolving Skies. Way under MSRP on their reprints. So I think those will happen. Bold statement, Con. What did I say, Pokey Plumber? Is that when I said... Is that... It was... It was 7 minutes ago. No shot that I will. No, 5 minutes ago. No shot that I will remember what I said 5 minutes ago. Cough, cough. How loud do I have to scream this? Sword and Shield is still underpriced in comparison with all these other sets. Sword, like, everything is underpriced relative to $270 Destined. I would buy, like, hey, Dan, would you buy XYZ before Destined at $270? Yes. Everything and anything. I would buy Surging before it. I would buy Journey. Journey might be the one. Journey might be the one I wouldn't buy before it. I would buy Journey and Surging, honestly. The first two that I say are the two. But, like, I would say Destined at 270 is the worst buy right now, in my opinion. Might it be up in 6 months? Yes. Might it be up forever? Yes. I don't think so. I would rather buy anything else. I would rather buy any Sword and Shield era set. I would rather buy any SV1 through SV5 especially set. I think they will outperform. I'm going to try to wrap up because it's 11:30 and I'm going to try to end. Thoughts on Fusion Strike Booster Box new price? I don't think the new price is established. The new price is like, we're right here. So like, I can't give thoughts on this because this is like, there's a lot of, between eBay, between TCG Player, there's a lot of movement right now. It's hard to pick out a singular price, but it's going up. It's going up. Temporal or Paradox? Is that based on what would I rather buy today? Let me look up both prices just so I. So Temporal Forces is 194. Paradox Rift is probably right around there. Is 186. I'm not strongly holding this, but I'm going to lean Paradox Rift. Not like I'm not smart enough to pick sets, so I'm just I'm picking that one. Both 200. Yeah, they're both right around there. Pokemon can definitely reprint 151 if they want. They can do whatever the hell they want in general. But 151 is not yet 2 years old. Most sets are in print historically for about 2 years. So more could come for sure. Tom B is picking Brilliant, Burning Shadows, Greninja UPC, Blooming Waters, Prismatic ETB. Picking 5 Sword Shield era booster boxes doesn't really cover your point. I think it does. Well, I guess it depends on how you were taking my point exactly. There are certain things, like if you're waiting specifically for Sword Shield era booster boxes for the sale, I think you're doing it wrong. There will be certain items that are better priced by then. A lot of things will be, but a lot of things won't be too. That was my whole point. So maybe you were taking my point like further than I was intending it to be, if that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't make sense, but I'm wrapping up soon. We got plungers in the chat. For Pokey Plumber. I'm selling Crown Zenith packs to buy 151. I like them both. I'm not picking Crown Zenith massively over 151. I like them both a lot. Like two of my favorite sets. Two sets I really want a lot of. But I actively own 10,000 plus Crown Zenith. I'm talking with somebody right now about buying 10,000 151 packs. So talk, walk. I'm invested deeply into both of them. Speculating deeply into both of them. But with that, it is 11:34. I've gone 4 minutes into overtime. I appreciate everyone hanging out. And Avatar Raiden, when I've gone to card shows, no one is charging me sales tax. Is everyone just breaking the law? Many people are not doing what they're supposed to be doing by the letter of the law. Appreciate you, Pokey Plumber. Appreciate you, Nick. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. Appreciate everyone in chat. Thanks, other Nick, Retro. We got a lot of Nicks in chat. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. I will be making my investment pallet follow-up video. The pallet is 1 year old yesterday. Happy birthday to the pallet. We will talk about it on Monday. I appreciate everyone watching. I will catch you all